If you got a little rhythm, move left to right. A new experience, baby, gon' hit your stride. Who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? And when the group get good, go right to left. Shut up, y'all. We got grab the tread. Now who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? I'm walking. Stretch. And walk it out like you know your plans you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you. So I will trust you. Here I let my fear die. That's why I'm walking. When my eyes can get it right. Be my God. And I'll through the trouble. When I don't understand, I will surrender to your plan for me. Don't clap your hands, everybody. Say me, don't fail me now. Jason, ready? Yeah, tomorrow. You know your plan you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you. I will trust you. So here I let my fear die. That's why I'm walking. And even through the trouble, I don't understand. I'll relinquish all my business.
Lord, open the door, took me down a path I ain't never been before. Looking at the road, I don't see a lot of space. Guess I gotta drop my load, cause you're picking up the pace. Don't leave me to die, be by my side. I get a little anxious, please be my guy. I got my feet shut, I've been prepping for the moment I would get the green light. So if you see me, I'm rolling like feet. Don't fail me now.
Like I am by faith. Lord, I'm walking. Anybody else going? I say I am. I'm walking. When my eyes can get it right, will be my guide.
I'll follow. When I don't understand, I'll surrender to your plan for me. Please don't fail now. I'm walking.
Like anybody else going? Yeah, I say I am. Can I get a witness? I'm walking. Wherever you believe. By faith. Sing. Hey, grandmama and them. Go ahead, get Papa.
Everything is bad. It's just as terrible as you imagined, and probably worse. With more, we go to Tom Cruise. Tom Lee.
We're all in danger, Dan Lee.
Jesus Christ, what can we do?
Absolutely nothing.
It was good knowing you, Tom Lee.
I can't say the same.
That was unnecessary. We're just now getting in reports that all the children have exploded. They will be missed. Let's check in with Olivia Lee Rodrigo. Olivia Lee, where are you?
That's none of your business. Do you hear that? Cut the music. Do you hear that?
What do you hear?
That's the sound of us slowly dying. Can you hear it?
I can hear it. It's louder in my left ear.
Olivia Lee Rodrigo reporting
I
from
actually
where
have some
I
more
am.
questions for you. Okay, we're going to go to Kevin Lee Costner, who has more with politics.
No, I don't.
Let's send it over to our senior correspondent, Nicole Minaj.
Look at this chart. Let's bring it up.
What am I looking at here?
I don't know, but it doesn't look good.
That looks bad.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
Let's go to our eye in the sky, Timothy Chalamet. Timothy.
Man, I am so high up right now.
You are in a helicopter.
I didn't know that when I got in. I thought it was a weird car.
What do you see up there?
Everything, it's too much. We're never supposed to see this. I need to go back down.
Stay right there. We're going to go to commercial.
Have you recently lost a child because they explode? Because that's crazy. How are we all not talking about this? I feel like that really got glossed over real quick. That's a huge thing. Call Tedley. 555 call Tedley. I want to talk about this. Call Tedley now.
And we're back. Let's check in with Morgan Lee Freeman with sports. Morgan Lee.
I just want to take this sports time to say that whatever you hear about me in the next 24 hours is completely false. People are going to say things and have documents and recordings to back up what they say, and it's just not real. You should believe me and not their solid evidence. Knicks take it by 2.
This is when champions are born. We're going now to Frankly Sinatra with the weather, Frankly.
It's everywhere.
We won't be hearing from him anymore. Coming up, a cat learns how to water ski and then drowns.
If you're as gifted as you say you are, sometimes the gifted gets gifts that don't make sense. God gave me a gift called denial. When I tried to get that building, been sitting there for years, I went and walked around that building, prayed on the doorsteps of the building, preached in it with a hole in the ceiling. When I tried to buy the strip mall next to Forestdale, stood in church, I got the keys, failed every inspection possible, lost every dime I had on my earnest money. He gifted me with failure. Only problem is, I didn't know it was a gift till it came time to negotiate this. Now I'm sitting in the room with this like, no, we need inspections. I want to make sure we do so-and-so. Let's put this right here in escrow. Let's make sure we do an amortization sheet for XYZ. And they looking at us like, what school you went to? Failure. I went to the school of hard knocks, majored in hell, trials, and tribulation, graduated summa cum laude, 'cause I knew God, what he had for me, the devil couldn't take from me. I got spiritual intelligence to discern an obstacle from opposition. Obstacles develop you, opposition distracts you. I know what your next level look like. I'm gonna put something in your present that's gonna develop you for your future. But if you ain't got spiritual intelligence, you're gonna think it's a problem, not a present.
Make me wonder why I even lost you. You had me shedding tears like a faucet. I'm scared to fall in love cause it costs you. You can feel the pain going through my pulse. You got me out here changing and out. You taking up a space in my heart. Sometimes thinking about the past give me nausea. Sometimes thinking about the past also. Really I'm approaching the future with some caution. Really had me believe cautious. Breaking my heart in pieces, broke us. Are you sure that's what you wanna do? You can only pick one side. I guess you chose. Made you number one, you didn't cross me too. One time is enough for me to cut you loose. Try to take your word, I ain't need no proof. But now that bridge is burned, I'd rather live and learn, live without the truth. Really had me believing I was yours. Breaking my heart in pieces, broke yours. Really had me believing I was yours. Breaking my heart in pieces, broke yours. Are you sure that's what you wanna do? You can only pick one side. I guess you done chose.
fly, I'm so 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 fly.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Having a couple technical difficulties over here, but we're getting it together. My mic is tripping. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Good morning to yours. Good morning to everybody. I hope everybody's doing all right. Hey, there we are. There we are. Having a couple technical difficulties this morning. What is that all about? Man. All right. Let's try this out. All right. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? I hope everybody's doing all right. We can get our tech issues together. We'll be fine. I think I knocked my mic back right at the wrong time, trying to hurry up and get some coffee. Anyways, good morning to all of y'all. Good morning to each of you. This is Zeke Live in the Morning. It's Monday, June the 9th, and I'm your host, Zeke Locke. Of course, I got my man's E Ride Out. I've got past star Rich Holmes, and we got, let's see, that's what we got today for you. And man, we got a good one. This is Zeke Live in the Morning. Of course, it's a great way to start your day. And so I want to say thank y'all for locking in with us and being here. It's always a great time over here on this side of the YouTube Live. It's always a good time. So I appreciate each of y'all for locking in. Really do. I really do. Let's see here. Let's see. We got a great one today. Man, listen, we talking about the stuff they tried to tell us when we were younger. Y'all remember our parents always telling us stuff like, you just keep living long enough, baby. Just keep living long enough. You'll figure it out for yourself. You remember they used to say stuff like that to us? They used to say stuff like, you know, you'll understand it better by and by. Remember that? Yeah, I remember all of that stuff. They used to say all that stuff to us. They used to say all that stuff to me. I know they used to say all that stuff to you. And then what happened? You didn't believe it when you was younger. And then you got older. And then you realize, oh, man, mama might have been right. She might have been right about that knucklehead man I was dating. She might have been right about that. You know, daddy might have been right about that chick I was dating. He might have been right. He recognized it. Wisdom, nothing beats wisdom. And even in scripture, we understand the Bible says, in all you're getting, get understanding, get, you know, and understanding. Unfortunately, wisdom and understanding are built with time. They're not really built with, you know, what's the word I want to say? They're not built with just, you know, you just figure it out on your own. No. It's built with time. You learn that stuff. That's how your faith is increased. That's how your wisdom is increased. It's with time and with learning. But unfortunately, now hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. I done unplugged everything. I bumped into there we go. My computer was about to go out. The battery was about to die on my laptop. The battery was about to die. The mic was over. What did I knock out? I knocked something out. Okay, anyways, all right, we're good. We're good now. The low battery signal was here. We was about to be all gone. All right, man, listen. But they tried to tell us all that stuff. We didn't listen. We were younger. We didn't think that it was worth it. We didn't think it was worth it for, you know, what our parents were saying. We didn't think they knew what they was talking about. But here's the reality. They knew what they was talking about. We learned that the hard way for some of us, for some situations. And some of us, you know, were good kids. You know, it didn't take us a whole lot to, you know, it didn't take some of us a whole lot to learn. Our parents could tell us something one time. Our elders could tell us something one time. And then we was like, you know, we was cool with it. But then for some of us, we had to learn it the hard way. You know, we didn't believe fat meat was greasy. That's what they said in the country. You don't believe fat meat greasy. Some of us didn't believe fat meat was greasy. And so we had to go figure it out for ourselves. And I've even heard people say stuff like, you know, I think it's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But I've heard people say stuff like, you know, you just got to let people, you know, you just got to let me learn the hard way. You got to let me figure it out for myself. And when I hear stuff like that, I'd be like, oh, yeah, you go ahead and do that over there. Because, you know, now that I've gotten a little older and a little wiser and I've learned some lessons and some stuff I should have heard from my parents when they was trying to tell me, some stuff I should have heard that I didn't hear, that I didn't heed to, that I didn't listen to. I ended up learning those lessons the hard way myself. And so now, you know, when somebody gives me some good piece of advice, I don't go back and be like, you know, I just need to figure that out myself. I need to just figure that out the hard way. It's like, no. Let me take into consideration what you said. Life and experience teaches us those kinds of things. And so today, you know, of course, June is men's mental health Awareness Month. That's what June is. And I honestly believe that for a lot of us men, that maybe some of our issues that we've had as it relates in regards to our mental health, I think that maybe some of those issues were caused by just hard-headedness. And I'm not saying all issues. I'm not a psychologist who's gonna sit here and diagnose it. But I'm just saying, y'all know good and well that we've been in some situations. There's women too, but it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'm a man, and I can only speak from a man's perspective. But that was a bunch of stuff that we probably could have avoided. A bunch of mental health crises. Is it crises or crises? A bunch of mental health crises that we could have probably avoided had we just listened to good wisdom. Had we just listened to somebody who was saying to us, hey, don't go down that road, and then we decided not to go down that road. If we'd have just listened to somebody saying, hey, don't eat off that tree, to bring in the proverbial Garden of Eden. Don't eat off that tree. And what do? We still went and ate off the tree. We do that. Some of it is human nature, some of it is personality, and some of it is just being hard-headed and just wanting to prove ourselves. Some of us, we want to prove ourselves. I had this one thought some time ago. I said, you'll never be able to improve yourself as long as you're always trying to prove yourself. And for some of us, we find ourselves always trying to prove ourselves. Let me say it again. You'll never be able to improve yourself as long as you're always trying to prove yourself, because the two things require opposite mentalities. If you're trying to prove yourself, you have to have the mentality that I'm right. What I'm doing is right. What I'm doing is righteous. I'm okay. I'm doing it the right way. Trust me, I got this. And so now you got to try to make sure everybody understands that you got it. That's proving yourself. It's a mentality of I'm good. I got this. But when you're trying to improve yourself, you have to acknowledge that you ain't got everything down. You ain't got it all right. You ain't got it all together. It's not to say you're bad. It's just to say there's some areas for improvement, some areas where you can get better. And you can't get better at something unless you're willing to admit that it ain't all the way right, that it can grow. There is room for growth. And so, two very different mentalities. And I think for a lot of us, we always try to prove ourselves. And, in some spaces you have to do that, when I went into just being honest, when I went into the corporate world, it was, the mentality was you a young black man going into a corporate space, you're going to have to work twice as hard to get half the benefits. That was the mentality. So my whole mentality in the work world was I got to prove myself all the time. Got to prove myself. Got to prove that I got this. Got to prove I can do this. Got to prove I'm qualified to be here. Got to prove that my whole mentality was around that. But again, sometimes we have to have that. Sometimes we have to do that. But, not all the time. Sometimes there's somebody that comes along with wisdom and with knowledge. They've been there before. And quite honestly, you should just listen to them. You should just listen to what they talking about. Just listen to what they saying. Because, what's the point? What's the point in having mentors around you and elders around you and people with knowledge if you ain't going to listen to it? I mean, just what's the point? What's the point of all of that? I don't think there is any point to that. I think that, we should take a listen. We should listen to what our elders are saying. We should listen to what all of the wisdom around us is saying. We should listen to all of that God is putting in front of us. So, make sure you just fall in line. That's all I'm saying. So that's how we starting off this week. They tried to tell me. And I'm going to encourage you. And of course, we're going to do our morning shout outs in a minute here. But, I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to ask y'all, what's some stuff that your elders tried to tell you? That's today's theme today. That's the theme of the day. They tried to tell me, and, maybe I listened, maybe I didn't listen. Maybe for some of us, I listened and I avoided some pitfalls that I didn't have to have. For some of us, the story might be, I didn't listen and I ended up in a pitfall that I shouldn't have been in. Some of y'all, yeah, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna trigger nobody. I was about to say some of y'all, some of us lost some opportunities. Some of us lost some. I'm trying not to talk all the way, say stuff that's gonna trigger people. I'm trying to watch myself. I ain't had enough sleep, I think, so I might not be able to do that. But I'm trying not to trigger people when I say, like, some of us ended up with some stuff, like some real situations that we now have to figure out. We're left to figure out. I think of single teenage moms, for instance. I think of, your mama told you not to mess around with that little boy, and then he, gets you pregnant, and then I hope I'm not triggering nobody. I really do hope I ain't triggering nobody, but at the same time, y'all know it's true. Like, I think about those mothers, the teenage moms, the young man knock him up, and then he go on about living his best life, and meanwhile you stuck holding the bag. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but I am saying there was probably somebody in your life at some point who was saying, don't be worried about them little boys, better stay in them books. Don't be worried about them little boys. You trying to be in them, you trying to be all in their little DMs, and then something happens, and now we got to ravel through all of this stuff, all of this. Now we got to work through this with a child in the way, all of that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but I've heard, y'all have probably heard this as well. I think it's pretty common to hear single moms who say, I wish I would have listened to my mom. I wish I would have listened to my grandma. I wish I wouldn't have gone over there. I wish I wouldn't have done that. Sometimes, imagine getting arrested. I know some people who've been arrested and put in jail because they was wrong place, wrong time, but they parents told them, stay in the house. Don't go out tonight. You need to be in the house. And you snuck out, and before you know it, your goofy friend did some goofy stuff, and now you got to pay the consequences for something that you shouldn't have even been out anyways. We all been there before, maybe not real drastically, but we've all been there. We've all been there. I know we've all been there. I ain't gonna say we all been there. I'm gonna say I've been there. Right? So we're gonna talk about it today. So I'm gonna encourage y'all, if you let me know some of your stories. What's some things that your mama, your daddy, your elders, your pastor, somebody, I don't know, somebody told you don't do it, or they told you do it, and then you did the thing they told you not to do, or you didn't do the thing they told you to do. If you're willing to be vulnerable, I'm willing to hear your story. Well, you know how we do over here. We listen, we don't judge, or we don't listen, we read, and we read it in the comments, but we don't judge it. So I'm interested in if y'all got some of those stories, and maybe you'll help somebody else out. Because maybe if they don't listen, somebody on here ain't listening to their elders or whatever. Maybe they'll listen to you telling your testimony about about something. But the elders, they tried to tell us a bunch of stuff, and for some of us, we didn't listen to it. And I'll give and then we're gonna bring Eric to the stage. But I'll give you another reason some of us do that, because we think that our elders don't know nothing. And even to this day, even at the age that I'm at right now, some of us are a little older, some of us done crossed the 30 mark. And we 35 and up for most of us that watch this, 35 and up. And even at that age, we still be looking at the people who are a generation above us talking about, they don't know, they don't understand. They don't understand what it's like. They don't understand what it's like living in today's world. And some of that is true. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Some of that is true. They don't understand some stuff. We can have an argument about that, but the Bible also says ain't nothing new under the sun. The heart of men just kind of stays the same. People just kind of keep repeating the same patterns for all of human history. And, there just may be new technologies to do it. So they may not understand the new technologies or the new dynamics. But I promise you one thing they understand. They understand the heart of it. And if you can get to, the heart of it, then you can do better. So anyways, that's my little spiel about today's episode. That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're dealing with today. We're going to do our morning shout outs in a minute here. Excuse me. I'm still battling this cough. My God. Get it together, Zeke. All right. Let me take a sip right here. I'm still battling this cough, so y'all got to deal with me. Y'all got to forgive me. Hold on a second here. There we go. Yeah. Still battling this cough. And apparently, Chicago right now has really bad air quality. So they're telling people, like, if you got, to watch out if you got a lingering cough. Now, I know my lingering cough is from something else. But now I'm starting to question if I didn't, get a little bit worse. Because apparently people are now dealing with these lingering coughs. And so that's been the story of my life for the last week and a half. So y'all just bear with me in Jesus' name. My God, I'm bringing Eric to the stage. Because I am choking. Let's get Eric right out to the stage real quick, y'all. Everybody do me a favor. Put your hands together. Welcome to one and only Eric right out. I'm real.
Man, you going through it. You
Man, you saw that? I was just in the middle of talking and then I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
I was trying not to laugh, but it was hilarious. Like, this man is choking to death on camera. Like, sticks come hit him on the back.
Man, and it's still going. Jesus! How you doing? It's been me all week. That's been me all week. Like, me trying to talk, do stuff, the cough just be... it's doing the most. It's doing the most, and I'll be glad when I'm past this little phase, man. I'll be real glad when I'm past this phase. Horrible.
Yeah, being choked is no joke, especially when it's on nothing.
Yeah,
it's that. Just watching TV.
Well, I'm still draining. I'm still sinus draining. Yeah, I still got sinus. So I can feel it. You can hear it when I laugh and when I talk. My wife told me she can still hear it when I talk, and like when I'm laying there breathing, you can hear me still wheezing and stuff. So I still got that, and I'm continuing with. But we'll be all right. I think within a week I'll be all right.
Will Chapman said you need a cough drop.
I know. I need a cough drop. I need a peppermint, a butterscotch. I need some Dayquil. I actually just used up all the last of my Dayquil yesterday.
Wait a minute. We got to wait till we do the shout outs because I just saw. Is this the former LXW member calling us, hey, old man? We're going to get to you.
It is.
It is. Oh, it is. All right.
It is.
Young one, how are you?
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, this weekend was really, really good. Really good.
Really?
You know how you had them weekends you don't do anything and you just sit? And that's what I did this weekend, man. I sat for a weekend. I finally got one. Now, that's going to change starting this weekend, I think. And the rest of my summer is pretty much shot on the weekends. Thing is, I travel for work during the week on certain days. And then on the other part, we got a bunch of tours going out. And I'll be headed out on some of them. So, but other than that, it was a cool weekend, man. I kind of just laid back. And no, I take that back. It was a terrible weekend at one point. I just thought about it.
Wait, what? That was a turnaround?
Yeah, I just thought about it. The lights were on, and I was sitting in my house, and then the light started flickering.
Oh, Lord. Again?
Found out that one of the panels had a short in it, so they had to turn the power off for about 5 hours. And the dude came, they fixed it. They had to, because I had to, because if not, it would have caught on fire.
Yeah.
And so they came, fixed everything. So we good, man. So I was, hung out at my mother's house for the weekend. Thank God she lived around the corner. And but other than that, it was a good weekend. That sucked.
It was something at your crib that was messing up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The panel, the circuit board, half of it was good, and the other half was had burnt. They said been burning in it till it burnt the back of it like almost like velvet. Almost, it was burnt. And
Jesus,
yeah. But they thank God no fires or nothing. They fixed it. Put a brand new circuit thing in. I'm looking at it over there. And they put everything. So we good. We are good, everybody.
Wow. Yeah, well, I'm glad that worked out. My weekend was not relaxing at all. Like, wasn't nothing relaxing about this weekend for me. I'm on like a month-long, if I say a bender, that wouldn't be the right word because that's like a drug thing. Like, I'm on a month-long, like, of being at the office every day or at the church every day, having some event going on every day. So, like, Friday night, I was at the, thanks, babe. My baby brought me some. She bought me some ginger chews and some cough drops. Yeah, she came in here like, you all right? Like, I was like, no, I'm not.
That's love. And she tired of hearing you cough for the next row. So she's like, man.
Yeah, and she tired of hearing me coughing. Yeah. She don't need that. But no, man, we were, so Friday night, Friday all day, of course, was just a lot of stuff. So Friday I went to the police station. There was a officer in Chicago. Lord have mercy, Christina Rivera, I think her name was. She was unfortunately shot. It was friendly fire. They found out while they were in pursuit of something else. Yeah, they were in pursuit of something else, but a fellow officer actually did it. But officers feel a certain way. So I was with the organization through my Community Healing Resource Center organization, and we went to the 5th District Police Station, and we went to their roll call. That's kind of cool. You know how like you'd be watching those police and detective shows and movies and stuff, and they'd be like in the room gathered together, like, and they call and roll and telling them what they're gonna do. So I was in that meeting with a few folks, and we prayed for the police for that. Yeah. And then Friday night, I was at 111th and State. We was out there from 7 to actually I went to rehearsal first. Then from the rehearsal, I went to 111th and State. So I was out there from about 8 o'clock. It was about 7:45 until like 10, like a quarter after 10. We were out there like praying, witnessing, passing out waters and stuff like that to people on 111th and State in Roseland. And if anybody who knows anything about Chicago, it's not like that's the suburbs.
Hey,
which is the reason we go out there. So we were out there. Somebody started shooting while we was out there. Actually, believe it or not,
I saw one of the craziest fights with the police being out in Roseland. That was one of my districts. I used to have to go visit. And man, I've never pulled my car up closer to the door. I almost pulled up on the sidewalk to get out and jump in where I had to go and jump right back out. But it was crazy. Oh man, on a sad note, prayers up for Frank Bruno. And
I saw that. Yeah,
yesterday,
and the passing of his mother.
So prayers for Frank and the loss of his mom, losing a parent. I know it's rough. I haven't had experienced that yet, or experienced it yet, but experienced.
That's the thing. I just can't even imagine, man. That's the thing. I can't imagine. I can't.
Yeah. So, a couple of people I knew had some situations this weekend. So, prayers to all of you that are going through loss and grief right now. But back to what you said, man. The weekends. I've just made a decision, man. Some stuff I'm just going to say I'm not going to.
That's good. Yeah.
Just don't go.
I need to
for
you. I need to take your advice.
Yeah, just say I'm not going. It's not obligation should not determine what feeling obligated, I think, is a problem. I used to have it. You may have it where you feel like I really need to go to these my people, or I work with this, or they're gonna need me. I've learned to do this. I put myself, what if I was never around? This thing would have still happened. It would have still went on. Certain things may have been different, but this event would have happened without me being there. And that's how I look at stuff now, man. It's like, I would love to go and support, but I just don't. I'm just not going. It's okay not to go to everything.
That's. I'm starting to get to that point. I mean, I really am waking up every day going, okay, what do I really not need to do? Who do I not need to actually talk to? What do I not need to do? I don't mean this in a rude way, but
But some stuff we sign ourselves up for, and it's like we don't have to do that. It's okay for us to be busy, but sometimes it's like I'm being busy for no reason at this point, just to be.
Or I'm being busy for other people's things.
Yeah, and you don't
like it's that thing when you busy for other people, like you building up everybody else's stuff, and then you get home and you ain't got the time, energy, or motivation to build up your own stuff, and that's where my issue happens, and that's. That's why I can start so many things and then not be able to finish them, because then I jump in trying to help somebody else do their thing or build their thing or whatever. Just whatever the case may be. Some stuff is for work and that's necessary, because you got to make money, you got to have a job. Some stuff is for, maybe some opportunities that you're building for down the line in the future or whatever. But at a certain point, you just got to I'm in a season right now where I'm compartmentalizing stuff. Like one of the things I wanted to do, the reason I didn't do it this weekend was partially because I was busy. The other part was because I couldn't decide on it. I wanted to change like the graphics. Remember I was saying I wanted to like kind of redo the graphics. I'm like, I like the orange and the green and all that, but I'm just ready for something new and different. So part of this, I won't put this all on having a busy weekend. Just a disclaimer. Part of it is because I just can't decide on what I want it to look like. So it's like I got time. It's not like a life or death thing. I didn't have to. But the other part of it is like I didn't really have time to just sit down and just dive into it this weekend like I thought I would, because it was like boom, boom, every day. Saturday, like from 8 in the morning on Saturday, we was at a first Saturday prayer, then leadership meeting right after that. Then Saturday afternoon, we had some running around and errands and stuff we had to do. Then Sunday, we were back up for 2 church services plus dinner, and then we had another meeting that was going with it. It's just like a bunch of stuff. And then now, of course, now we on this. As soon as we're done with this, I'm in the office, and then tonight I'm out on the street again. We at 87th, and I'm going over there. I want to see Donovan Price and see what he's doing. So we're going over to 87th and the Dan Ryan by that Jewel over there in Chicago. We're gonna be out there, so we're gonna be out there with the street team. So like, so just running, just constantly going. But
now, can you not go?
I could, but also I'm building for something down the line in the future, also for something that's coming up this week. So it's like building for stuff. Like there's some things that you got to, you know how it is, you got to dive into some stuff. It's like that kind of stuff, but at the same time, now you got to start compartmentalizing. So I'm in this season now, I'm compartmentalizing, and I'm saying, okay, I really don't have to do this. I really don't have to do this. I really do need to do this. All right, this ain't gonna benefit me in the long run. Like when you have to look at some stuff and say, you know what, this ain't gonna benefit me in the long run. There's no benefit for me in the long run. This is just taking my time at this point. Sometimes those take you away from things that you may like and you might enjoy. But then you realize this don't benefit me none. And when you get to that point, then it becomes like, all right, I got to cut that thing out. And that might sever a relationship with somebody. That might make somebody feel salty or feel some kind of way. But you got to do what's right for you. You know what I mean? Like you got to do what's right for you, your vision, your goals, and moving forward. So.
And on that note, I know we got to do our music break because we're at 8:02.
Absolutely.
Hey, we staying on schedule a little bit.
Yeah, we try to stay on schedule over here. Y'all see we've been disciplining ourselves in this area. We've been disciplining ourselves in this area. Y'all see it. While we go into the music break, because we're coming right back, and we're going to come right back with shout-outs, our morning shout-outs. I always say that's one of my favorite parts of the show. So y'all make sure y'all say good morning if you haven't said it already. Just let us know you're here with us. Let us know you stopped by for a minute. We just want to see you, want to wish you well, especially as we start off a new week. It looks like it's a beautiful one too. Looks like, at least here in Chicago. Now I don't know, everybody's not here in Chicago, so some people, y'all might not have a nice week, but it looks like it's gonna be a nice one for us today. I don't know. The sun is already shining. It's already beautiful. So but let me ask you this real quick, E. Let me ask you this real quick while I load this song up, while I get this moving. Excuse me. Have you got any times, and we can come back and talk about it later, but you got any times where somebody told you to do something or not do something and you just disobeyed them, like your elders or somebody who's been down that road, and you did the exact opposite and then you had to pay for it later? You ever been down that road?
Yeah, I think that's something I've done when I was younger and at my current age. It's human nature to do wrong. Let's be honest. I mean, you think about it. God told Adam and Eve, "Hey, don't do that. Don't." And she would, and he said, "Y'all." And then he told her, "Hey, don't." And with human nature, like, I know I'm not supposed to, but it's just like a baby or a kid.
Yeah.
Don't touch the stove, it's hot, and they go up anyway and looking at you doing this, like, don't touch that. And they still, how they doing like this.
Yeah.
It's in the DNA of just not people. A dog, you can tell your dog, I don't bite that, and they'll look at you and still try to bite. Like, I'm looking at you, stop. And then you have to run up on it, and then they grab it and still try to run. It's just in people, animals, just to do the opposite of what you should. But yeah, man, I've done it.
Yeah,
definitely.
But when we come back,
talk about it.
When we come back, we're gonna talk about all of that. I see some people already putting stuff in the comments over here, so I'm excited to dive into a few of these things. If y'all have any stories of times where you didn't listen and it didn't work out, whether somebody told you to do something and you didn't do it, or they told you not to do something and you did it and it just didn't work out. I saw one of the comments said, "A hard head make a soft behind." Basically, like, that if you don't believe fat meat is greasy, all them old country sayings. If you've ever had a time like that, please let us know. We want to talk about it. We want to encourage each other and help each other out as we go through this week. And, some of this stuff be funny in hindsight, So, I ain't judging nobody, but we're going to laugh. So, all right, y'all. Here it is right here. Since my boy Will C was in there, we're going to play his dude, Mandy the Don, with that song Hero. I actually like this song. It's new agey. I like that. New age rap. Here we go. Mandy the Don, Hero.
Turn on the lights, watch me shine. Hey, 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 hey. Turn on the lights, watch me shine. Them dark nights held my grind. All it took was some time. I'ma like take your time. Don't you rush to get old. Problem child, now hero. 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 Hey, no roof, watch the rain fall. Pockets flat, money change, y'all. Hey. Hey, bottom boy ain't have a pot to piss. Now I'm legit, life is lit. I scream doors, know who I'm with. They say pain is what gets you rich. Run deep, I watch my mama warm up that water when they cut the heat. Tell me what's the beat? Stomach empty, but I fed the team. Don't say you with me when that grass is green. And you ain't wanna help break the lids, it be hard to see. Cause the mirrors be smoky. I've been sipping potion, life been roller coasting. Hey, swear my life been roller coasting. I have my ups, I have my downs. When I'm up, they around. Them fake smiles, peep your crowd. Mama told me slow down and just watch who's around. Hey, hey, turn on the lights, watch me shine. Them dark nights held my grind. All it took was some time. I'ma like take your time. Don't you rush to get old. Problem child, now hero. 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 I be feeling like a hero, definition of real. Time don't heal all wounds, I miss my brothers for real. That shine hitting differently because my brother's not here. No, with new friends, all of my dogs right here. Want more life, but the graveyard keep calling me. Product of the trenches, but mama told me I'm gifted. You hear my pain, listen. My papa on his last mission got me reminiscing, got me reminiscing. Remember old days, Johnny Taylor at Park. My last $2 being broke, I'm just gon' split it and walk. Feel like I'm followed by a reaper. I look back when I walk. I'm a hero for my people. Listen up when I talk, stars in the making. But bitch, I glow in the dark. Hit too hard for a coastal, so I get drilled when I walk. My mind faded. Wish I can go back in days. Wish I was hero for my brothers that didn't make it that day. Turn on the lights, watch me shine. Them dark nights held my grind. All it took was some time. I'ma like take your time. Don't you rush to get old. Problem child, now hero. Problem child, now hero. Problem child, now hero. Problem child, now hero. Problem child, now hero.
No, I never did love just the past time. Told myself the last time was the last time. So tell me why. I know that I'm safe for all alone, but when I'm with you, I lose control. And I knew the heartbreak, babe, but that's a risk we all gon' take. Cause the vibe's just right. Fall in love again, but I just might. Cause the vibe's just right. Thought I'd never fall in love again, but I just might. It's risky, and I know it. Once we get to go and we can't stop, like a locomotive. A runaway train out of control, and this could be unforgettable. I'm hoping we don't get off track, cause it's gonna be a long way back. Cause the vibe just right. Thought I'd never fall in love again, but I just might. Cause the
And we back. Hey. Welcome back, y'all. That was Manny the Don with Hero. And that was CP the Genius with Just Might. I like both of those songs. That's why we added them to our rotation to keep on playing them. So, yeah, man. Look here, I'm just skip through the comments real quick to see this one right here. Play Just Might on every music break. I love that. I'm with you. That song is, listen, it's a vibe, man. That was a great submission. Both of those are good submissions. But that Just Might, man, that joint is. Yeah.
Send me that in the text so I can save it to my phone and play it in the car.
Got you. I'm gonna shoot you the. He shot me a link, so it's a link. I'll shoot it to you. Actually, it's in the email. It is in the email, in the Zeke Live 730 email. Speaking of which, because we haven't given that any credit lately, but if you have music that you want to submit and you wanted to get played here, y'all see what we do. If we like the song, we keep playing it over here. We just keep on playing it. So you can send that to ZekeLive730@gmail.com. If you know any artists or anybody who wants to have their songs tested out or anything like that, just go ahead and send it to us over here. As y'all see, when we like it, we keep on playing it. It stays in rotation. So send something to Zeke Live. I haven't done this yet. If you have not done the things already, y'all see it right there. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Go ahead, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, do all that stuff. As y'all can see, it's a good vibe over here. We have a good time, but that's all the places where you want to follow us. So please go ahead and do that if you haven't already. And let me throw this out there, and we're going to dive into these morning shout outs. And then I got a couple hot takes, a couple things that me and Eric been wanting to play for the past couple weeks. But before we do any of that stuff, before we do any morning shout outs, hot takes, all that stuff like that, let me hit y'all to this really quick. Let me find it. If I can find it, then I can get it up there for y'all. It's gonna be in here, and I believe this is it right there. Nope, that ain't it. My goodness, there it is right there. So this Saturday, if you're not doing anything on this Saturday, oh man, it's not gonna show up because I got that playing in the background. Ain't that some stuff? All right, well, I guess that stops the music if I do that. Well, there you have it. All right. I need to load the MP3 of that song because I love the background of that. We'll turn it back on in a minute. But this coming Saturday, if you're not doing anything, you see it right there on the screen. This Saturday, we're calling it Brunch and Breakthrough. Actually, that's not what we're calling it. We're calling it Brunch and Table Talk. So that's the old flyer. I got to get y'all the real flyer. But the information is correct. The information is the same. We just changed the title of it. Through the Community Healing Resource Center, y'all know I'm always doing something with that, with the organization that I work with. And so this Saturday is a pre-Father's Day brunch that we're hosting. Is going to be held at APC Morgan Park. If you're in the Chicago area, 114th and Vincennes. That's basically the address. 114th and Vincennes. 10:30. The doors open at 10 o'clock. It goes from 10:30 a.m. to 12. So it ain't a long period of time. It's not a long brunch by any stretch of the word. But there are a lot of different things and resources we'll have there for you, including expungement stuff. So you want to hit that QR code right there. If anybody's interested in it, let me know. We'll make sure that we get you in there. But we do have limited seating for this. There is limited seating for the sake of food and all that. We still got seats available. Please come on out. It's for men now. This is a men's thing. This is a men's
for the men.
brunch.
We don't want no.
Yeah, it's for the fellas. We don't get the fellas don't get nothing, especially around about Father's Day. It's a pre-Father's Day thing. They always doing stuff for the mothers. The mothers always get their day, and the men, they just be, the fathers, they just get cast aside with a pair of socks. Like ain't nothing like, for the mothers, folks come to church with their mama.
And a t-shirt.
Yeah, socks and a t-shirt. The mamas, they get roses, dinner, they get get taken out. They get new gifts. The kids come to church with them. I mean, it's a whole thing. Fathers, on the other hand, it's like, man, you better take these socks and go about your day. So on that day, we're doing something for the men. That's sponsored by the Community Healing Resource Center, APC, Men of Valor. We got some stuff around expungement. So if anybody's been dealing with a case that you had, even if it's from back in the past, and you have that record that you need sealed, We've got Cabrini Green Legal Aid that's going to be there to help you understand some tools and resources that you can look for there. We'll have some conversation around why men should get involved in their communities. A lot of men ain't stepped up to the plate these days, so we'll talk about why men should get involved in their communities, but how they can also get involved in their communities. So this is not the correct flyer, but the information is the same. I'll have the correct one loaded up by tomorrow. I don't know how this one got in there. I don't know how I sent this one to myself. This is not the right one. I thought I deleted this, so I must have deleted the wrong one. But it's really just the title is the only thing that's different. Yeah, right. It's really the only thing that's different is the title. All the information is correct. So
if you deleted the one that you needed.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's just the fact of the matter. It's just the fact that the wrong one is there. But the information is still the same. It's still the same time. It's still, we got, like I said, we got brunch where I think the menu is like chicken and waffles and eggs and grits and bacon and stuff like that. So, we got it catered to catered meal.
Women can have, and this is no shot at all to the ladies, but they can have their things and just have fruit and donuts and coffee, and they good. But see, what Zeke is talking about is what the fellas want to eat. They want the chicken and the waffles and we want food.
Yeah, we want some food.
We want to eat. We want to eat.
Yeah,
women
so y'all come out because here's the thing: it's totally free. Like it's free to. I'm gonna say it like this: it ain't totally free. It's totally free to the people that's coming. It's free to you. We paid a pretty penny for this meal. We paid a pretty penny for this event to happen. So we want to make sure, we got a good turnout. And also we want men to be encouraged. Just the impact that really matters for us, more than the numbers. Just the impact. It's this Saturday. I'm going to put it back on the screen. This Saturday at my church, APC Morgan Park, 114th and Vincennes in Chicago. So if you're interested in coming, pause. But if you're interested in coming out, then y'all come on through. I'm too immature for this show.
No,
I'm too immature to be on the air first thing in the morning.
No, but you're right. It's a men's event. You got to be careful.
You got to say pause when you say you can't say
much. See, that's why y'all
right,
laugh if we do these.
Just be over here. All the men coming on Saturday, like what? Pause. So that's the. Yeah, so there you have it. If you're not doing anything, Saturday, June 14th, that's the day before Father's Day. And again, to all of you fathers, we want y'all to be happy. But this ain't just for fathers. I want to point that out. It's not just for fathers. It's for men, boys. Huh?
Father's Day is this coming Sunday?
This coming Sunday. It seemed like it comes quick this year but you know what? there's 5 Sundays in June. The first of June was a Sunday. So Father's Day feels like it's like super early this year. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around the fact that yesterday was the second Sunday as opposed to the first Sunday, So speaking of yesterday was Pentecost Sunday. So for all the Pentecostals, that was our day yesterday. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put this song back on the screen. Hold on. You're gonna see the graphic come up, but we coming right back. Hold on. There you go. We coming right back. There it is.
Time for the morning shout outs, everybody.
Let's get the morning shout outs in. Yep. Yeah. Run that track back one time. Run the top of that track back one more time. All right, let's knock these morning shout outs down because we love the morning shout outs. There it is. Rhonda said they like chicken and waffles too. I don't know. Yeah, women, they can get away with that stuff, but I don't know. All the women stuff I've been to, they be wanting food. They be wanting.
Yeah.
They be wanting. Yeah.
They want to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, they be wanting something to eat.
Some women be shy when that first date. Was Sticks a shy first date for you? Was she shy to
No, first. You know what? Honestly, the first time we went, because me and Sticks got a long history where we were, together, not together, friends, not friends, the whole thing. But the first time we ever went out, we went to a place called Brickstone. Matter of fact, the place I was talking about last week about my cousin, he used to be a brewmaster at. So we started talking when I got stranded in Miami, and we started some kind of way texting back and forth. Remember Blackberries? We was on, both of us had Blackberries. We had the Blackberry instant message. And we was talking back and forth on there. So when we got home.
People felt important when you had the Blackberries back in the day.
Oh, look, you couldn't tell me nothing with my Blackberry. That's still one of my favorite phones I've ever had. I hate that Blackberry went out of, they messed themselves up when the smartphone regime came in. They got into it too late, But yeah, so that was that, But Dude, I'm saying, man, the crazy part was me and her, first time we really went out, we went to this place called Brickstone, and we had these drinks called midnight something, and we was eating appetizers and all kinds. We spent a pretty penny like on this food. But it was a good time, meatballs, and they had this thing called a bucket of balls. So every time we seen each other, we'd be like,
hey,
right.
one quick question. Somebody just texted me and said they're trying to comment. I couldn't either on YouTube. How do you comment on your thing? Because I see the comments. Do they have to go to yours? Oh, they may have to go to your page and see it.
Yeah, I think so. So there's a thing where we're live right now on Zeke Lock. We're live right now on Eric Rideout. We're live on those pages, those platforms. Is the one where the comments actually show up. I don't understand that, but it's just a thing. That's a thing. So I don't know how to make that. It makes sense. It's a thing. That's a thing. We figured that out when we figured out that we can go live across all these different platforms. But for whatever reason, comments only show up from 2 places. They show up from 3 places. The comments only show on the screen from 3 places. They show up from Zeke Lock on YouTube. Let me put that stuff up there real quick so y'all can see it. They show up from Zeke Lock on YouTube. That's that right there. They show up from the Zeke Lock page and profile on Facebook. And actually, I don't even know if they show up from my profile. I think they do, but they show up from there on Facebook, and then they show up on Twitch. Now, we ain't really into Twitch like that. I do go live on Twitch, but I'm just going to be honest. I ain't had time to look at Twitch, think about Twitch, or even try to figure out how to understand it. But the comments do show up from Twitch. So we end up with, right now, all we end up, because we ain't got nobody on Twitch, we just end up, with goofy stuff from Twitch, like bots, stuff like this. So,
you know why? The reason I ask is I'm watching it, and we can do the shout outs. I don't see any place to comment. I just went directly to yours, but I see people are doing it. So that's weird.
Oh, in that case, I don't know. Are you signed in?
Yeah, I'm signed in, subscribed, and everything.
Oh, shoot. I don't know.
And they'll show nowhere to make comments now. That's weird.
I don't know. That's weird. They on here, though. Well, let's get into these morning shout-outs while we figure out all the technical difficulties that we don't understand. Let's see. Your first comment of the day today was girl, Miss Asia Jamal. There she is right there. And I'm excited about her show on Pure Live. I'm really excited about that. Asia Jamal?
Never heard of her.
I knew you was going to do that. I did.
Never heard of her. What's up?
Well, I'm excited about her show because this week she's got Tara Jones on there on Friday. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, your friend. Yeah.
Tara Jones. Tara.
Yeah, well, she's got her on there. So y'all want to go check that out. That's Friday the 13th. That's coming up. So they're going to put some good juju into the air on Friday the 13th. So both of those people, sweet, wonderful people, friends of the show. Y'all go ahead and check them out. Subscribe to Pure Live on YouTube so we can check out our girl Tara Jones. We want to check her out, and we want to check out Asia's show. So that's going to be real dope. So y'all go and do that. And then look, here it is, Miss Brenda Rose. Good morning. Thanking God for another day. Yes, another day, another week, really technically another month. I mean, we just, man. Yeah, we already in the second week of June. This is crazy, man. Time is just flying.
Yeah. I'm taking advantage of it. It does seem like God. I don't know what it is, but everything does seem like we're doing this. Just zoom. And I was sitting here and the funny thing was, I'll sit back like, I get to chill for a few weeks before I hit the road. Now the days are just flying by. I'm like, wait a minute, slow the calendar down.
Man,
but that's
one of the things that people used to tell us. That's one of the things they tried to tell us. Is then cherish your days. Cherish them like these days that, when you a kid, 20 years seems like a really long time when you like 12 because you can't conceive 20 years because you didn't live 20 years. But when you like 40, 20 years is like, wait a minute. 20 years ago felt like yesterday. Like it felt like just yesterday I was in college. But that was 20 years ago. Like, Jesus Christ.
I tell my daughter that all the time. I'm like, she's 24. And she's, when you're 24, you outside every day, all day. And Rhonda's in her 30s, so she's still outside every day almost. But when you hit a certain age, you still hang out, but it's like,
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out. Good morning, Brittany Rose.
Yeah. Speaking of it feeling like a long time, we was at church yesterday. We was in the balcony, and one of the girls asked me, so I ain't gonna say which member. She said one of the members was like, he's the Morgan Freeman of the church. I was like, what? Two of the girls was talking about. Said, he's the Morgan Freeman of, not me, talking about one of the other members, one of the elders. And I was like, what? I was like, well, he been old ever since I know him. Like, he just always had the same old face. I'm like, I was that. So then she asked me, shout out to, I ain't gonna say who it was because then I ain't gonna say no name. But she said, what did you look like when you were like, younger? And I'm like, I was like that, and I had to look at it. I said, now when you say younger, what age do you actually mean? She said, I don't know, like maybe 20 or something like that. So I went through my old Facebook, and I went like to the first Facebook pictures I ever posted, and I saw some stuff that was a little triggering, but I saw some stuff that was just like, dang, I look so young. So I showed her the picture. She was like, you went through your YN phase, didn't you? I was like, I was a college boy. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this was all the rage.
Yeah, I went through that YN phase.
Yeah, I went through my YN phase. So there you go. So the kids saw that, but like for them to be able to see that, because they said I still got a young face. They said I don't look 40, but
you know what it is though. When you're older, when people, younger guys walk by you and they say, "What up, Unc?" Or they say, or what they call you? Yeah, say sir. When they call you sir,
sir was a thing. Or how about this, Mr. Zeke? Like, so there was some kids that are on they're on internship right now with Crew. And so we were out there Friday night, their internship, mentoring in the inner city, they're mentoring and interning for a mission trip in the inner city kind of a thing. And so, there's this other kid, his name is also Zeke. So I was calling him the other Zeke. So when I was leaving, they trying to be respectful. And they were like, oh my God, it was so great to be with you. We can't wait to see you again, Mr. Zeke. And I'm like, y'all are college kids. Please don't call me Mr. Zeke. Yeah, like college kids talking about Mr. Zeke. Like, Zeke is fine. Please.
Hey,
so I get it now when older folks.
That reminds me of that D.I. Cole special. What do you say when the old guy in those clubs try to talk to the young girls? Say, whatever, sir, or Mr. or so whatever it was. But no, so shout out, Tom. I'm sorry. We gotta get to
so apparently I'm Mr. Zeke now. There you have it. Okay, I'm going to the morning shout outs. Here go one more story about young people making old people feel old. I was working at a summer camp, and I never forget this kid named Christian. He gonna ask me the question. He was like maybe, what was Christian? Probably 7 at the time. They called me Mr. Cool at camp. He said, Mr. Cool. He gonna come and talk about some Mr. Cool. What was it like way back in the 1900s when you was a kid? But when I say I wanted to pick that little boy up and throw him through a window, like, what you mean way back? What you mean 1900s? Like,
and think about
put the words together for me.
And if you think about it,
right? Because it's a kid that's born in like the year 2000, I don't know, 7, 2008, something like that. He was born in. Like,
that's funny.
For him,
for them, but what's funny about that for us? I don't know if you remember Mika when we had that conversation. We were talking about different musicians and singers and stuff. We saw NSYNC, and Mika was like, "Who's the who?" and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you don't know. But the funny thing is I never understood it. Babies, and this is weird to me. I don't care if it's a 2-year-old or not. They don't know. They may not know a whoever, but all of them know who Michael Jackson is. That's always been strange to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean? Marketing at its best, that's for sure.
Think about it. If you got a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, oh Michael Jackson, like, how do you even know who this is? But if you put somebody that that you listen to, like say you would have put Joe up or Make Edition, like who is that? But they know Michael. That's just weird to me. And okay, go ahead with the comments. I have a lot of. I have a conspiracy theory for that. But go ahead.
Let's see here. I had this one up there, but I didn't acknowledge it. That's Mama right there, Miss Sherry Staten. She's here with us this morning. She be on YouTube for a minute, then she go to Facebook for a minute. She said she couldn't find us on Facebook at first, and then she ended up finding us. So there she is right there. We always love her. She always got some good wisdom for us. I hope we listen to the wisdom they tried to tell us. So hopefully we'll listen to some of these elders that's with us today. When they trying to tell us stuff, hopefully we'll listen to it today. So we don't, have hard heads and soft behinds. There you go. Speaking of mamas, there goes your mama, Miss Johnny Rideout. There she is right there. Y'all show some love. Mother Ride Out. There she is. And since we're talking about mamas, I'm going to just skip past a few of them and put my mama up there as well. We coming back to the other comments, but there's my mama. So yeah, two of the mamas of the show. There they go right there, y'all. Y'all make sure to show both of them some love. Give them some love because that's me and Eric's mamas. There they are right there. Johnny Ride Out and Ms. Dr. Lisa Dyson. There they are right there. That's our mamas. Yeah. So y'all show them some love because they, they made it possible for this show to happen. And then here's my boy, my dog, my homie, my brother, my friend, my college roommate, Neil Bell, a.k.a. Cornelius Bellamy, a.k.a. The Man, the Myth, the Mystery, a.k.a. Detroit. That's him that be in there talking about what up, though.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready for Zeke.
He said, they ain't ready for Zeke Lock. Yeah, they ain't ready for me. They ain't ready for me. They ain't ready for me. And then here's our girl right here, Miss Brony Cat. Brony Cat 1, and always got to find her special comment. She's our church announcement lady, so we got to give her a special comment. Welcome to Zeke Live in the Morning with Zeke Lock, co-host Eric Rideout, Richard Holmes. Grab your morning beverage and let's get moving. Yeah, we getting moving on this Monday, and I'm drinking some coffee. I'm drinking coffee, and apparently I'm eating ginger chews with it, and the combination doesn't go well.
No, you may be in the bathroom all afternoon.
Yeah, it's not a good combo. Yeah. Besides the bathroom stuff, it just tastes nasty together. Like it's just ginger and coffee is not a good combo. But I gotta do what I gotta do. So there it is, right there. And then here's our girl, Miss Rhonda on the rocks. Rhonda. There she is, right there, Miss Rhonda on the rocks. We love her. That's our girl.
Yeah, she be out.
You said Roger did what?
She be outside every day on Facebook. I'm like, man, this girl finds somewhere to go.
She said she is not outside every day. She put in the comments, she said, I am not outside every day. Jesus. I love that.
Go to her Facebook page right now and go through every day. And I'll put money. She's been somewhere, if not 7 days, 6 out of the 7.
That girl is living her best life. That woman is living her best assisted life.
And I say enjoy it. Enjoy it.
That's one of them things that, that's one of the things they tried to tell us. Enjoy it while you can. Like, you're going to be one day where you ain't going to feel like doing all that. And you're going to, but those memories of the times we was out all the time, those memories still last. So, for all the young people.
But for us, man, when we were growing up, and I'm older than Zeke by like 10 years. But while we were growing up.
10, 11, yeah.
I think like 10, 11, or something like that.
What you born, 73?
Yeah, 73. I got
74.
3.
No, I'm 83.
Oh, okay. So
you got me by 6. But no, you got me by 11 because you January 6th. I'm December 1st. So you got me closer to 11 years than 10. Yeah.
And so for Zeke and I, as he know, we were around before cell phones were like a thing. Yeah, I'm in your business, and too bad. Keep it off social media. I won't be in it. But we grew up in a different era where we would go to concerts and things that we didn't take pictures and stuff, but you still remember those things like it was yesterday. You know what I mean? Now the picture stuff, but you probably remember concerts you've been to when you were 18, 17, 16, and you didn't need a camera. You remember how it looked when it came out, what you was doing.
Absolutely.
We were in moments back then. It was moments, man. And I tell my daughter that all the time. I say, hey, she'll say, Dad, me and my brother or my cousin, we flying here, go. You are 24 years old. See the world. I've traveled almost the whole country. I think I've been almost everywhere in the whole country. It's see, traveling is culture. You see different sights, different food. You meet different people, different environments. You learn things. Mm-hmm. Travel. So, Rhonda, I'm not teasing Rhonda. Travel. Enjoy your life. Enjoy yourself. Anybody that's watching this, old or young, travel, see the world. God gave us this whole world to enjoy, this whole planet to enjoy. Get outside and go travel.
Yeah, I just told the girl that said that when I was showing her my pictures from when I was 20. One of the pictures when I was 19. It was a picture of me when I was in England. And I told her, I said, you're a real smart girl. When you get to college, I want you to look into study abroad programs. Do that while you got the chance, because you're going to look up one day, you're not going to be able to do that kind of stuff at the drop of a dime. So do it when you got a chance. Travel. It'll change your perspective. Speaking of old men, here's Alexis going to call us old men, talking about some, hey, old men. Like,
right.
Always somebody.
You big. I can't call it on names right here. Alexis,
That's my girl.
Look
at that. She turned out all right, and she even still popping the carrots down, y'all. Listen, when you see carrots, maybe I should let the people. Maybe this is a good part because we still doing more than shout outs. I'm just sticking here for a while. We just having fun today, but when you see carrots, lock stars, maybe we should let the lock stars know. What y'all think? We should let lock stars know what the carrots represent.
You know what?
Because that means something for us, huh?
Wait, before you give the definition, those that know what carrots mean, put in the comments what it means. See if you remember what it means. Alexis,
perfect, yeah.
Mika, put in the comments. Marcus, put in the comments. And where does Alexis live now? She moved, right? Aren't you in Texas somewhere, Alexis, now?
Alexis, Texas?
Alexis, Texas. Where did you move to? Like, somewhere that nobody cares about? I mean, like, where
Let's just start a rumor. I think she moved to Greenland.
Oh, that's easy. Let me think. Okay, I got one already. Yeah, she moved after she got out of work release. She had to move to Greenland. All right, Jamaica, you put the carrots in the comments. So what do carrots mean?
Yeah, y'all tell them what the carrots means. Yeah, and we'll come back with it because I think Lockstar should be able to be part of the whole carrots gang. You know, it's an insider thing, but it means something when you see carrots on. When you see us talking about carrots and me saying I got them carrots, which I might have said a few times on the show, like it really means something for us, and it's a really good thing. But you know, it's an insider thing. So y'all put that in. If you know what it means, go ahead and throw it in there. We'll explain it later. That's my boy Will C. talking about I need a cough drop.
Jamaica said no. I'm not gonna say what it means. That's a joke.
We can share. We can share it. It's not a, you know. Go ahead. You could tell them. It's not a, you know. It's a. These people in with us every day, so they can know what it is. Because they got some carrots in their life. You know, we want to celebrate their carrots. Here's my boy Will C. talking about I need a cough drop, and my wife brought me one. So there we have it right there. That was like Pops. Brought me one. Yep. So that's my boy Will C. He actually manages Manny the Don. That was that song Hero that we played. So he manages him. And so, you know, he manages and mentors. And y'all know how Will was on. He was talking about mentoring the young kids off the West Side and all that. That's one of his mentees that has made something of himself and done something with his music career. And it's just a testament to the good work that Will does over there. So, yeah, definitely shout out to Will C. If Jamaica ain't going to put it in the comments, Hood might throw it in there. There's Chris Hood. Chris might tell y'all what the carrots means. I don't know. Between Hood and Marcus, they, you know, the dudes do stuff. You know, they'll let you know.
We do stuff the right way.
Yeah, we. They ain't gonna get me cussed out by Rhonda on the rocks today.
You don't hear today?
No, she's not on today, but you know she'll chime in. You know she'll pop in real quick, be like, "Hey, you better watch your mouth." You know, I'll be loving that. He is Chris Hood, y'all. Shout out Chris Hood, all your photography and videography needs, and all of the things of that sort. He's also a DJ too. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but Chris Hood is DJ. He got DJ equipment and all that stuff. Yeah, so him and DJ Red, they both DJs. Right? We should do a DJ off, like scratch off between the DJs. There you go.
Yeah, we get confused though, because we gonna laugh at you if you mess up DJing live. We gonna laugh. Here's my Aunt Kathy, Pastor Traffinia McGeeson. Y'all show my auntie some love. Y'all give her a whole lot of love because she is a strong, powerful warrior in Jesus' name, and we love her today. Wow. I mean, she really is. Yeah. She, you know, she gets on here every day and sees us, even with everything that she's dealing with and going through. You know, it's not I ain't gonna tell y'all all that, but I'm just gonna tell y'all with everything she's dealing with, for her to get on here every day and be on and type in the comments means all the world to me. So y'all show her some love. If you're on the Facebook side, go and give her a heart that comment. Just say, "Hey, Aunt Kathy." That's my Aunt Kathy. Y'all just say hey to her. Jamaica said it means pink ping pong balls. So I think she's asking for the story. So you all want to hear the pink ping pong ball story? Okay.
I don't mind bringing the pink ping pong ball story back. Yeah, we can bring that back. Yeah. Here's DJ Red. DJ Red, good morning, people. Time to catch a vibe with Zeke live in the morning. Lock in. I love the DJ Red. Between DJ Red and Brony Cat, they always got these dope saying. You know, it's a bunch of people. Let me not start because Brenda Rose be saying some good stuff, and Victoria be coming on saying. Everybody be getting on saying good stuff. So you know, I just love that. Rhonda always got some good. Who?
Didn't Rhonda create the Lockstar's name, or was that Brony?
Rhonda created the Lockstar's name. No, that was Rhonda. Yeah. She created that. Yeah, I was like,
Creative.
I like that. Yeah, she's very creative. She's good at coming up with names and all that stuff like that. That's why her show is doing so well. So they
Some
have
lady just chimed in on the bottom, Zeke.
let's see who that is. Well, I'm gonna get there. In a minute. Let's see here. Let me get this one real quick. Miss Jamaica Lachey, right there. That's her. She's right under Miss Marcus Johnson right here. I don't know if you see. Well, pause. Let me.
No, you might want to get to this one. You might want to get to this lady ASAP.
Oh Lord, who is it? My mama. Let's see. Well, I gotta go find it now. Let's see. Miss Jamaica Lachey. We're gonna shout out Miss Jamaica Lachey right there real quick. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. There it is. All right. Hold on, wait. Well, before I get to her, let me get my auntie in there. My auntie Regina. Yeah, and let's see. Well, let me do this real quick. If I say auntie Regina, Jamaica Lachey, go find all of her music. All her stuff. We always play a bunch. We play a couple of her songs all the time over here, so y'all make sure to do that. And then there's my auntie Regina, all the way down from ATL. Shout out auntie. I love you. Y'all show my auntie some love. You know, when I be saying somebody my auntie or my mama, y'all just show them some love for me. Just do it for me, because I can't do it from over here. I can only shout them out, you know, but y'all can show them the love on my behalf if you don't mind, you know, but that's my auntie. I love her. That's one of my, you know, that's my homie, my auntie Regina. She's like, she's so cool. She really is so cool. Let's see here. See, this is what they did right there. They send it, Miss Brenda Rose, sending lots of love to the mothers of the three of the best of Zeke, Locke, Eric, Rideout, Rich. Yeah, because I know Dr. Ladicia be watching too. Y'all know she was on here. They sponsored us for April. Like, so they be on here, you know, watching. So all of our mamas are there. So we always want to wish them well and all that good stuff. But before I put this next comment up, y'all know what I got to do. I got to change the track. You know, I got to play something sexy for you. Some sexy songs for you in the words of Drake, you know, and Party Next Door. Because this next comment, of course, is the one that matters the most. It's Miss Kimmy Lot. There she is right there. I'm sorry, not Miss Kimmy Lot. Mrs. Kimmy Lot. The Mrs. Yeah, I gave her that MRS. Yeah, there she is right there. She got that MRS up off me. So shout out to her, who also brought me these ginger chews and this cough drop. She
and
brought
what if
me
you
all
weren't so quick for a husband? What if you would have been a jerk about it when she brought that in there and like, now get in there and make me a sandwich? You know, what if you'd have been a jerk about it?
Well, during the music break, I went there and said, I better have a sandwich in here when I get. I want some bacon and egg sandwich, like. And you know her, she just said, "Yes, sir, I'll do whatever your wishes might come in." And I said, "Yeah, better be."
That's what you say. Feet on the ground. And she going in. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. Funny story about when we got married. We were talking, and you know, she was like, you know, remember on Coming to America when he was about to marry the princess. And she was, you know, whatever you like, your highness. That's how my wife was. She was like, whatever you like, your highness. So every morning she wakes up in the morning and she says, whatever you want, your highness. And I said,
so that means when you wake up, when you wake in the morning, she's already standing next to your side of the bed with a towel wrapped on her arms and fully dressed, your clothes laid out. You're not in your breakfast. Yeah, that's what I desire. That's what I want. I'm still training her though. Like, she gonna come in here in a minute. Watch this. She gonna come. Here's the thing. I can say whatever I want because she ain't dressed yet. So she can't just pop in here on because she ain't dressed yet. So booyah shaka, there it is. So I said it on air. It's now online in the Ethernet on Al Gore's interweb. So it must be true. That shit in the doorway talking about, I said, don't play. Look, there she go right there. I wish I could turn the camera around so I could see her pop up talking about, don't play. So yeah. She's saying don't play because she don't want y'all to know that what I'm saying is true. That's all. Let me stop. Let me stop because you know, I have intentions of you wild. You
said what?
Chris said y'all wild on there. You watching the show. Chris Cersei.
Who? Chris Cersei. Shout out to Chris Cersei. Yo!
You just text me.
Shout out to Cersei. Well, you know, I'm just trying to give husbands, you know, now that I'm 6 months in, which makes me practically a veteran. So I'm just trying to give all the advice to the husbands that if you want to, I'm gonna mess somebody up. If you want to, if you want to have peace in your home, you got to tell your wife what to do. You got to take charge of coming. And we all know that the reality is that's not how that actually works in real life. Some kind of way. What? This is what I'm trying to figure out. How do you get married to somebody and they just take over your whole life? Like, what is that about? Like, they just take over your whole life. Because that's pretty much what happened.
Marriage is an interesting thing, man. I mean, when I was married, it was different because now your habits and things you've done maybe for most of your life now can irritate the crap out of somebody. And the little stuff they do may irritate you. So now you got to find a happy medium on how do we share this space, still be individuals, still be together. It's like, like Rhonda says she's reporting our live. Wow. That's a hater move right there.
I feel like, yeah, well, you're right. Like it really is. You got to find this happy medium when you with somebody. I mean, because you still got to, again, you still yourself. You're still your own person. Still got your own personality, your own dreams and goals. But now you have to like merge it with somebody else because they still their own person, their own dreams, their own goals, their own personality.
And no more just getting up. I'm gonna just fly to such and such tomorrow. Oh, let's go. I'm gonna fly out there. No, you're not. You have a conversation. Hey,
right? Yeah.
Happening, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you better be prepared to buy 2 tickets. Like Colleen told me I could buy 2 tickets. Like you better be prepared to buy 2 tickets before you go.
You ain't just going on your own no more. But marriage also is a great thing when you have the right person. It's support. It's that constant person that's doing this. You can do this. You got it.
Yeah. I will say that much. That's definitely the case. Like, because this, what the coolest thing about marriage for anybody who, and I know this ain't a marriage episode. We talking about what our elders done told us and they tried to tell us, but you know what? No, this does fit in line with that because
they made you don't date that girl. Your mother said, I don't like her. Get out of here.
Yeah.
My mother told me that people before. I don't like her. Like, wow.
Yeah. I will say my parents told me we had sticks back. This was when I first go around trying to get married. So we've been vocal about that before. We talked about that on the show before. But my parents have always been for her, for my wife. They love my wife. They love her. They think she's good for me. But one of the coolest things about marriage is that you really get somebody you can legitimately like talk to. Like when you can find that vulnerability and you start like opening that up more, it's actually kind of a crazy space. Like, because you can get some stuff off your chest. Like, ain't nothing like going back and like talking about somebody and knowing it ain't gonna get back out. Like, for sure, it ain't getting back out, Like, it's nothing like that. We were out there, like I said, we were out there on Friday night. We was praying. She came out with me. I asked her, I said she want to come out with me. She came out with me. She get cold real easy, so she got in the car.
I was just gonna ask you, did she get cold? And like, I think go sit in the car.
She got cold and she got in the car. We was out there about an hour before she got in the car, and she was like, "All right," but she was out there talking to people and meeting people and doing all that. But then they did communion at 10 p.m. We did communion together before we wrapped up and got out of there. So I went back to the car and I got her and brought her over with me, And so they asked me to do the closing prayer for the event. They asked me to do the closing prayer, and I felt a hand go on my back and just start rubbing my back. And I can't tell you how empowered I felt when I felt my wife's hand hit my back. Like, I mean, just honest to God. Yeah, it's like that. Like, if ain't nobody else got my back, this one person got my back. Like, just the feeling of that. I don't know how to describe it.
No, you know what you sound like that is. Remember Sinbad's stand-up special? How he said how his mother used to know how to get something out of his father. He said his father be outside. She said it don't take much. His father be out there hammering. And his mother like, look at my strong husband out there. Look at my man out there. He said, Daddy be hitting it all hard, trying to looking back. She said, let me bring him something to drink. She said he drinking it like this, still hammering all hard, looking back at her. When you got somebody and they say something like, man, they be proud of like, oh, you can do anything. You feel like go outside picking up the car. Stick say something like you like, oh, that's how you feel. Watch this, But it's a good thing. That's what they are. That's what a helpmeet is. Somebody that speaks into you imparts into you when you putting out for others.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's what my wife does for me. So, you know, that's a quick shout out moment. I talk all that stuff, but the reality is my wife, you know, she keeps me in line.
For you though, Chris said, but Zeke gotta stay focused on the prayer and she rubbing on your back though. You gotta stay focused. She said, stay tuned in.
Right. I was now if anything, you know, if anything, it's 10 p.m. on a summer night, and you know, and she rubbing my back. It's just like, all right, let's wrap this prayer up. We got to get home because I can do that now.
Oh, we lost our music. Oops.
No, it went off. I let it go off. Yeah, we're gonna actually do a music break. We're gonna do a music break. You know what I'm gonna do for this music break? I'm gonna play the same song again. I'm gonna play Just Might one more time. I'm just feeling that song. I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm with Rhonda. Let's play it every break. I'm with Rhonda on that one.
1 or 2.
We'll do 2 because that one is so short. Just Might is like literally 2 minutes long. Like it's 2 minutes and like 3 seconds or something like that.
You gotta throw your boy in there.
Who?
You gotta throw
Hattie.
You gotta throw. Oh, did you get that new one?
Well, here's the thing. We played the Hattie song. That's pause.
Wait, I thought you meant the new song. I was saying play Brandon.
I was talking about the new song, but yeah. Well, no. The only thing about the Hattie stuff is that I think it cuts us off on Facebook. Like there's we played Open Door Season and Facebook went off last time. But Hattie did have a new song that we'll tell y'all go get that one because it's a pretty dope song. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Brandon P. Gotta throw that Brandon P in though.
Oh, bet I throw that one in there. I got you. Yeah, we'll throw that in there.
Or Blanca. Because that's my girl too. Either one. That's a toss.
All right, which one you want?
Which one y'all want? It don't matter to me. Whatever one you
I'll play both of them. Just Might is so short that it really is like a commercial break more than anything else. Like I swear. I tell you what.
Get it to you because you said play it every day.
Yeah, we're gonna play Just Might and we're gonna play because Eric wanna hear Brandon P and Blanca. I'll play those 2 for the music break, but we're gonna come back on Just Might. How about that? I think that's a fair trade-off. Because I just like that. Yeah, and we'll be back with Rich Holmes and we'll dive into this topic a little bit. And also, I'm gonna play some of these hot takes. I got a couple of them that are hilarious. And me and Eric been wanting to show them. They hilarious to us. I don't know, maybe y'all won't find them hilarious, but me and Eric are a little immature. So
wait a minute. Is Spider-Man in there?
Yes.
Do that accordion. That accordion. All right.
Yeah, we go. It's right there. I'm looking at it right now. It's right here. So yeah, are we ready for that? We ready for it. So all right, Eric, I'm taking your suggestion on these songs. Here they go right here. You said you want to hear these 2. We got them in that order. Brandon P and Blanca. We gonna do that, and then we're gonna come back on CP the Genius just because that's Rhonda's suggestion, and I really like that song too. And you know, it's just a dope vibe. So we vibing this morning. Y'all stay locked in. Here we are right here.
Blessings falling down on me. It keeps bringing me joy. Each blessing I receive, it keeps bringing me joy.
Yeah. Okay. Blessing to coming in front of me. Coming in front. I'm in the cup bag on me. How you feel? Like I got my piece in the heavenly? Yes. We not the same. Keeping the fake up on me. You know. Yeah. I gotta go. I'm in the league. Yeah. No checking the scope. Plain to see. Plain to see. You reap so. You cannot face me. I gotta say this life is amazing. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time he say my life. Coming with that talk. Please don't kill my vibe. Shorty got that walk. She know what I like. With the gang, there's some side, yeah. Okay. I'm in the still, I got the truth. Get the pedigree, okay. I never lose when I'm on the move. I'm leaning on the G. Okay. Dipped in the water, open the father. Coming in clutch for me. Coming in clutch, coming in clutch, coming in, yeah.
Blessings falling down on me. It keeps bringing me joy. Blessings I receive.
Look, bring me joy, give
challenges I avoid. Why would I give up my core? Belief in you gon' change my world. Make me feel like I'm the world. You gon' maybe I'm not sure. Just make me your little vessel. I won't wrestle with you, Lord. I got all these blessings waiting. I'm gon' need a new umbrella. We don't do that stressing, baby. Faith gon' work in any weather. Once I gave him all of me, I just hit the Hall of Fame. We take Jesus over shame. Got no limits, but he not dead. They say no, I'm still the same. Yeah, I got a lot to prove. Fill my life with room. Yeah, I got that tune. Yes, I couldn't help it, my confession. Tell him I'm about to bloom. He wrote me up from the womb. Blessings coming soon.
Blessings falling down on me. He's bringing me joy. Each blessing I receive. He's bringing me joy. My life, you've been faithful and I'm faithful.
No matter how far I go, you'll never turn your back. Oh, you're so faithful. I can't even count the time. No, you came and rescued my soul. God, you're able. Your love stopped me right in my tracks. You know I never ever want to go back. Yeah, feel my heart beating right in my chest. Now every part of me just had to confess, oh God, you are worthy, 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 you are. Every bone in my body knows that you are worthy, 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 you are. Yeah. The author of every story, I know that you are for me. You're so faithful. Yeah, yeah. When the sun rises every morning, I wanna give you glory. I'm so grateful. I know you're someone I could trust. Yeah, you love like nobody does. Yeah, no, I can't say it enough. Yeah, I feel a praise rising up. Oh, worthy, 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 you are. Every bone in my body knows that you are worthy, 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 you are. Yeah, and it took some time to see it. It took some time to see it. Now with every breath I'm breathing, oh, I'll sing that you are worthy, 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 you are.
Yep. And we back. And we back. We back. We back. We back. We back. There's The Rock Obama. Y'all shout out for The Rock Obama. We always love when he makes an appearance. Hey, glad to see y'all this morning. Thank y'all for being here with us. Yo, this is CP, the genius right here with Just Mike. There it is right there. I know y'all feel that. Feel that. Feel like I gotta say pause after say I know y'all feel that.
So I wasn't on the camera yet, so you good.
But that's a risk we all gon' take. 'Cause the vibe just right. Thought I never fall in love again, but I just might.
Look at this. Rita came right on time, E.
Free Rita, 2025.
Free Rita. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thought I'd never fall in love again, but I just might.
That is
It's risky.
The fact that I'm starting to know the words.
Once we get to go and we can't stop. Feel like a locomotive.
I know y'all feeling this one, y'all. I know you got to be feeling this.
Runaway train out of
I know you feeling it.
and this could be
Got to be.
unforgettable. I'm hoping we don't
They are.
get off track, 'cause it's gonna be a long way back. 'Cause the vibe's just right.
Red said if you like the song, it must be good, because you don't like nothing.
I like this one, boy.
Cause the vibe's just right.
Where my wife at?
Never fall in love again, but I just might.
That's how quick this song is. Like that's literally how quick the song is.
He reminds me of Obi.
Yeah, him and Obi got a real similar style. They got a real similar style with each other. That's for sure. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, that's a shout out. Let's do this hot take real quick. This is yeah, man. Listen, this right here.
I'm gonna laugh on the things I'm gonna do this.
Oh, look at Rhonda. Look at that. She said this is her testimony. You know what? That's true. If you ever been in love and had your heart broken, I'm not talking about had a boyfriend, had a girlfriend. I'm talking about being in love. Like, can't stop thinking about this person. We talk about men's mental health. A lot of men, I think, are struggling from the mental health. Oh my God, you all right?
Ooh,
what just happened? What you just do?
Man, I accidentally hit the thing and it scared me down. I almost jumped through this wall, and it was my fault.
Jesus, what just happened? What?
Oh God,
y'all ain't see that?
I scared myself. Hit the thing. I don't know what I thought was about to hit me in the face, and I jumped. That's stupid.
I wish we could do instant replays.
I'm sorry, y'all. Oh boy.
Woo! Now that was comedy right there.
That's what I get. What happened, Jamaica, was some reason I was moving and did this to the mic, and that was it. I thought something hit. I don't know what I thought. Good Lord above.
Woo, boy.
That's what I get. That's my payback for laughing at Zeke when he drank that hot coffee over here.
Ha! I remember that one. Yeah, that was.
That's what I get. 'Cause I could not stop laughing at that. Oh,
look. JR put the eyes up like, whoa, what's going on over there?
Oh, she said she saw that. Man, I don't know what I thought. I don't know. I thought something coming in my head. I don't know what I just did.
Woo, Jesus.
I need a hot take now. I got to see the hot take.
Let's do the hot takes. While I'm looking for the hot take, I was commenting on Rhonda's thing. She said that song is her testimony. Because men's mental health awareness month while I'm looking for this hot take. Because I went to a whole nother screen for the other thing. But men's mental health awareness month. I think a lot of men don't know how to deal with I think they don't know how to deal with sometimes those relationship things. Mm-hmm. Like those people that they fell in love with and they don't know how to they don't know how to deal with, they don't got that no more, or, their heart was broken and they just get through it just be all kinds of stuff that, that we deal with in silence. And then we say we'll never fall in love again. But then what ends up happening, we actually end up falling in love again. So, All right, I got two hot takes. Today we're going to recognize one of Marvel's greatest heroes, Spider-Man. I got one and Eric got one. I'm going to play mine first and I'm going to play Eric's. All right, Eric, here goes mine. I don't know.
Before you play it, did you see what I sent you with Jesus the other day?
Which one?
What the guy said, Jesus was like, man, I was hanging out with the disciples at the pool. Have you seen that? And he run and do cannonball to jump in the water. He forget he can walk and he hit the water because he can't.
Oh, I do. I got that one somewhere, actually. You sent that. I got it somewhere. I got it somewhere, actually. You seen the ones It's one I want to show. I got it. I saved it somewhere where it was Bible characters talking about if Bible characters live today, or if they had cell phones or something like that. So they had like, he was like, I'm about to yeet this giant back in. He was like, yo, this your boy Moses. You thought it wasn't true. I told y'all, come on. Y'all see what we doing walking across dry land.
You know what it was? They used AI and made those.
Yeah.
And AI made all of the stories up. This dope. But go ahead with Spider-Man. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Jesus thing got me the other night when he hollered, cannonball. And he hit the water, but he fell.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna change the screen up on this one. Let's see here. Let's see.
And we gotta bring back.
I'm gonna put the hot take screen up.
And you gotta bring back Ronald McDonald eventually. Tell a joke on that.
I gotta find that one. You gotta send it to me again. I got it somewhere, but I don't know where it's at.
The other night, I was in tears left the way he was telling jokes, and the people was hating him. They wanted him off that bus so bad. But all right, y'all.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna change the screen. I might lose you for a second, but
go ahead. Do what you need to do.
Oh no, you still there. There you go. All right, bet. Yeah, there it is. There it is. All right, I had to make sure it was the right screen. There we go. All right, let's get CP the genius out the way real quick. All right, so here's my hot take right here. We're gonna give homage to one of the greatest heroes of all time, Spider-Man. I don't know the song of Spider-Man. I just know it says Spider-Man. But here's mine right here. E. Here's me.
Of course you can. But remember, the mask is a symbol that many people
Oh, they kicked him out of there.
I'm gonna play one more time. Look at this little dance.
Can I wear your mask? Of course you can. But remember, the mask is a symbol. Many people.
Why we do no kids like that?
He's scared to crap out of.
They said don't hire that Spider-Man. They said do not hire that Spider-Man. He bogus for having that other mask on though. Scared the kids for no reason.
That reminds me of that Easter Bunny when they showed the T-Move Easter Bunny. That little girl, that's not the Easter Bunny. No, that Easter. Have you seen it?
So the ones where they be running away from the Easter Bunny because the Easter Bunny be ugly, like.
Yeah, they showed the little white boy, the little white girl. Like, that's not the Easter Bunny. Dude, that Easter rabbit ears was all like this, and
yes, yeah.
Oh, boy,
I seen it in the compilation video of Easter bunnies. All right, here go the one Eric had. Here go the hot take Eric had with Spider-Man. We paying homage to Spider-Man today. Here's some Spider-Man, the top 6 Spider-Man moments. Here we are right here.
Oh well. This you like one of the
yeah. This one. Here go yours.
Who's that? Spooder man.
Okay, no.
Mentally ill man. That's retarded man.
Oh no, play it one more time. Play the whole thing one more time. Spider-Man got it rough in there, bro.
Oh boy.
We trying to creep across the thing.
That's fat man. That's what happened.
Right.
Look at this. Ooh, he like Peter Griffin on the ground. Ooh, yeah, his shoulder broke.
Yeah, he's done for.
He's
done for. Why is Spider-Man playing the accordion anyways?
Spooder man though.
Booterman. 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 There you have it. Some hot takes. I'm gonna throw one more in just for good measure. You ever seen somebody who do the most when you say hello? I'm probably that somebody who do the most when you say hello. But this right here is the absolute most. I don't know what I would do if somebody said hello to me like this. I just seen this like maybe the day before yesterday. This ain't Spider-Man, but this is
snail, turkey, Thanksgiving, dinner, sandwich, snowman, Disney, Epcot, bull ride, Batman, Rhino, Yoda, Shark Attack, Unicorn, Newton's Cradle, Antlers, Field Goal, TIE Fighter, Walk the Plank, Mic Check, Woolly Mammoth, Gear Shift, Ping Pong, Telescope, Parachute, Last Supper, Jellyfish, Bigger Jellyfish, last one, Small Jellyfish. All right, hey, how's it going?
Man, I would have punched him like 8 times, man, doing all that to me.
How did he just keep going? Like
I've been so mad at him. Can't wait, Zeke. Can you imagine doing that to Fred?
Right, be like, hey, what's up?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna send this to Trey. Let's send this to Trey and get Trey to do it.
Trey would definitely do it. Trey would do it just out of spite.
Snail, turkey,
yeah, Trey would definitely do this.
Dinner, sandwich, snowman,
Disney, Epcot,
bull ride, Batman, Rhino, Yoda, Shark Attack, Unicorn, Newton's Cradle, Antlers, Field Goal, TIE Fighter, Walk the Plank, Mic Check, Woolly Mammoth, Gear Shift, Ping Pong, Telescope, Parachute, Last Supper, Jellyfish, Bigger Jellyfish.
What's that? Bigger jellyfish?
Smaller jellyfish.
Smaller jellyfish.
All right, hey, how's it going?
Send that to V so I can send that to Trey and tell him
doing that
to Dave, because you know Dave be having the conniptions.
He'll do it to Dave, yeah.
But you remember we was out there, he came there playing with Dave, and he did some day he came there to do a Chris. Don't come in here with that. he don't even let him get started. So come here with that foolishness.
Just be starting stuff. There's one nephew that just be there you have it. I got to give one quick shout out right here. This is, of course, we shouted out Jay Aura. He was there. But then this right here is, well, let me do this real quick. There's Jay Aura. Y'all see him. He came in later.
Nephew you talking about. That's Fred's nephew.
Yeah, she's talking about Fred's nephew, Trey. Yeah. And then right here, this is Rhonda's mama, Pastor Cynthia Cohen. Y'all say hello to her. Y'all go ahead and shout her out. There it is right there. Miss Cynthia Cohen. We love her. And she's always in. I told you, the mamas of the show be watching us, y'all. The mamas of the show be watching. Yeah. So there's those cool shout outs.
Send me that right now. Ruining your day. Send me that, because I'm going to send that to Trey right now. I say record yourself doing this.
So when I figure out what I did with my phone, I'll send it to you. I think I left my phone in there.
Bring it back one more time, though.
All right, bet. There you go. One more time.
Snail, turkey, Thanksgiving, dinner, sandwich, snowman, Disney, Epcot, bull ride, Batman, Rhino, Yoda, Shark Attack, Unicorn, Newton's Cradle, Antlers, Field Goal, TIE Fighter, Walk the Plank, Mic Check, Woolly Mammoth, Gear Shift, Ping Pong, Telescope, Parachute, Last Supper, Jellyfish, Bigger Jellyfish. All right, last one, Smaller Jellyfish.
I'd hit him dead in his chest on that.
Wow!
Wow, that's all you saw. As soon as he came in for big.
The most. Oh, that's what it was right there. The cool cat thing. That's what I knew it was something. Yeah, he kept coming in talking about something. He's a cool cat. This guy right here, he's a cool cat. Look at him. He's a cool cat. He was like, don't you come here with that. Hey, go tell that guy he's a cool cat. This guy right here.
Trey get on their nerves. And then what Trey is, 28, 29, so he got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Let's just get on people's nerves.
You know, he don't do that to his daddy. Not at all. Ray, get over there and pick up that crate. Go make yourself
right. Oh, Lord. Let's do this. Let's bring it to the stage. Let's do to the stage the one and only. Before I bring him to the stage, just shout out Merv Hammond just because he came in right here.
Merv, probably a stroke. All at the same time. That's too much.
Well, let's bring to the stage the one and only. Hold on, wait a second. Oh Lord, why do I keep doing it? I I don't know how to work this thing with the video. I gotta get the MP3 of this so we can do it. Bring that back to the stage. There we go. We gotta have the right vibes. There it is. I just like that song. I just like that song. So I want to play it in the background. Y'all, welcome to the stage, the one and only Pastor. He's back there, Mr. Dr. Pastor, Reverend, Bishop, Apostle, Prophet, Rich Holmes. All of those titles.
Good morning, Overseer Holmes.
Good morning, Overseer Holmes. Good morning.
No, y'all the overseers back. Y'all got that locked up, thrown up. What's happening?
No, you the overseer. You the
and Rich just said it. He said Doc. So that's
he Doc. What's up, Doc?
Oh no, Rev, y'all got it.
You know what's crazy? I started calling Rich Doc like in college because it was like a joke. Like we saw about how old preachers always be like, hey Doc, what up, Doc? We started doing it, and now 20 years later, I still be like, what up, Doc?
What up, Doc? You know what I'm saying? Just goes with the flow now.
Preachers love that. What up, Doc?
That. Like I never got the history of it, but hey.
What, Doc?
Yeah.
Well, I guess because some pastors was doctors, they was getting their doctorates and doing that stuff like that, as a sign of respect. Now it don't matter if you got a doctorate or not. Now something happened around the 2000s where it was more important to have the title bishop or apostle in front of your name. Or prophet, doctor used to be an esteemed position because it meant you did some real studying. You dug in, regardless of where you dug in at. You dug in and you did coursework, and it was a big deal to be doctor or something. Now you ain't got to even go to school no more. You just call yourself bishop or apostle, and people flock to the title. So everybody's trying to chase that title. I'm just like, you ain't no more of a bishop than I got snot in my nose. Right.
Everybody became a bishop. I was like, oh boy.
Everybody became a bishop. Like, everybody a bishop, then what are y'all bishoping? Like,
who's the number one bishop? Yeah. Top 5 bishops in the world. Who's top 5 bishops, guys? Who y'all top 5?
Top 5 bishop?
Top 5 bishops.
The Pope. The Pope, who is the Bishop of Rome. There's nobody with more people under his bishopry than the Pope. So ain't nobody rocking with that. Let's start there. Let's see. Who else? Because how many Catholics are there? I think there's 1.4 billion Catholics.
Are you mean in a Catholic church or general?
Just in general. He said top 5 bishops.
Right.
Oh, well, my godfather, Bishop Warren, Bishop Sheridan is my god, Bishop Jakes, Bishop Ellis. Old man Ellis was cool. And the other guy that Bishop Ellis used to pack everybody up back in the day. Well, Bishop Darrell Hines out of Milwaukee. Those are my top 5.
Nice. Who you got then? Who you got, Doc? Well, talking about Doc. Who you got?
I gotta get a list. I gotta think of it.
He wasn't ready.
But I am really, man, shout out to Bishop Brandon and God Jacobs. My goodness, that man can preach.
Who, Brandon Jacobs?
From Indiana.
You know what, Brandon and I grew up. Brandon used to do his trial sermons at my church. They used to bring him on Sunday nights, and we would let him come Sunday night, and he would not trial, but kind of like his early years when he first started preaching. He would come to my church, and we would bring him on Sunday night to let him start. But now this dude, Brandon Jacobs, is that guy. I've known Brandon since he was teenagers.
Oh man, that's what's up. Yeah, he seemed like
congrats. Oh, he's a really good dude, really good guy. His church is right over there off Calumet Avenue.
Oh,
right across the street from, remember where Deidre's church was?
Yeah.
It's on the other side of Calumet Avenue right there.
Oh, really?
I never knew where it was. I never knew what New Zion was. I never knew.
Yep.
I know it's a Hammond. I just never knew where it was.
Yeah, it's right there. Instead of going towards Deidre's church, just go the opposite way, and it's right there on the corner. My daughter's grandma lived across the street from the church.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, preaching. He called to me, Willie Campbell. Absolutely, Bishop Willie
Rest
Campbell.
in peace, Bishop Campbell.
So he's a top 5 one.
Man.
Man.
So what are you basing it? What's your top 5 based on? Well, go ahead. What you say?
I'm talking about preaching, like preaching style.
Was Elder
Hinton preaching sense, like who's a good preacher? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you remember was Richard D. Hinton a bishop or just a pastor?
He's an apostle.
He was apostle.
He was amazing though. That was my dude. I loved him.
He was Apostle Richard D. Hinton.
I used to watch him every Sunday.
I
Every
ain't going.
Sunday.
I ain't going. Well, y'all saw it just like I did with that comb over. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was his signature look right there, boy. That Eric, why you go off the screen? Like, I ain't saying nothing that didn't nobody see. But I'll go solo on this one because I love Richard D. Hinton, and I ain't trying to offend nobody. But y'all saw it just like I saw it. That comb over was there.
Yeah, man.
Now y'all want to go off screen.
Because Zeke tried to get jumped on by his members. And
you know
what you say now?
He said, "I'm trying to get jumped on by all his members."
Oh man.
You know, I'm sick of that though. I'm sick of these gangster churches, boy. I'm sick, and I ain't talking about gangster churches like churches where gangsters go to. I'm talking about these church gangsters who represent their churches more than they represent the kingdom, and they are willing to fight you because you got a difference of view than they got. That's an energy that I hope dies. I really honestly hope that energy dies. I hope that dies. Because them churches where they've been defending and the pastors they've been defending end up in these stories and stuff later on down the line. Then everybody want to be hurt. Then everybody want to be, like you. It's okay to defend when somebody says something bad, but y'all like some of these folks, some folks, and I hope they see that y'all be going too far with it. Y'all be wanting to pull up on people and we'll pull up on y'all like what? Over because somebody said something about your pastor. Oh well, shoot, y'all in for a treat, boy. Like. You know,
to me,
I'm not saying don't.
I was just throwing something in. I'm gonna let you continue. It took me a while to even know what Pastor Hannah, the name of his church was. All I knew, I'm going to Hannah's church. I'm going to Hannah's. I'm like, what is the name of Hannah's church?
New Life.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, that's what people used to say. I'm going to Hannah's church, or they used to say, I'm going to the Well, which was Matthew Stevenson's church. They used to say that. Yeah, if you say, man, come over to the Well, I'm like, well, what the heck is that? But people got nicknames for their building.
Let me ask y'all this.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, let me ask y'all this: would y'all choose a church based on the preaching, based on the music, activities or outreach, based on the music? Like, when you choose a church, and this may be a little bit of a different question for a couple, because for some of us, we never really just chose a church. Like, but if you had to just step away from everything and choose a church, what would you choose it based on? What would be your top criteria?
Definitely music, ministry, outreach,
preaching, outreach, and not say you can't say a mix because I'm saying what's the top thing? What's the top thing? So it's not a mixed question. This is what's the top thing that drives that decision?
The word,
the people. Like, is it the people? Like, because some people, some people join a church where the pastor ain't necessarily that good of a preacher. But when you look at the ministry they do and the people and the way they do stuff, they those churches grow massively.
Whoever took this picture of Donald Trump,
I can't see it.
This Trump when he was falling, some fool took this picture and posted it. Well, he almost tripped. He fell up the steps yesterday. They took the picture of him falling.
Oh, I didn't even see that yet.
Oh, it was hilarious. But go ahead. I would pick a church on. I'll turn it off so y'all can see it. I would pick a pastor according to the word because I can hear singing on my phone or something. I want somebody that's really speaking something that's going to help me. That's what I base it on. Then, if it was, my next thing would be their community, how they are with people, how they treat the flock. First of all, and then thirdly would be the music part because I love music, but it's an order.
Got you.
That's just me, though.
I think I'm in the same vein as E. Be the preaching, the teaching, what they standing for, and then I want to know probably what they do in their community or what their plan is for future. And I will be looking for any business because I'm a business person. Do you guys have anything in that space at all? Opportunities? If not, then it's not nothing that's going to hurt it. It's just something I would be like, man, that'd be cool if they had it. So I'm looking at it, even if the pastor has something in business or they have a mindset or they have other companies or anything that connect with that. And then also music. So yeah, music probably my third.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. I don't know what mine would be, honestly. I don't know What mine would be? I think because I've seen so many stages. This is just me. Because I've seen so many stages. And when I mean stages, I mean literal stages. So I've seen so many preachers. I've seen so many singers. I've seen so many of all of these things that at this point, I really want to know first and foremost, like, how do these people treat each other? And how does that like manifest itself outside these four walls? Like, is there a real effort to reach other people by whatever means that, like, if I see those two things, I'm more inclined to want to be a part of that as opposed to just what somebody is saying. Because I feel like I can turn on, like Eric said, when it comes to the music, I can turn on some music. I can do that. And then it's also the same thing for me with preaching at this point. Like, I mean, we got more clips of preachers and stuff like that, more sound bites. I can, I don't know. That's just me, I guess,
Gotcha.
Or I'm into where you can you can go back and forth with something. Like you can have space to just process stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Without judgment, if you will. That's kind of me, Yeah, that's me with the church. But community, I just like the concept of community. So I don't know. I think I'm kind of getting to this space where even if I don't do that community on a Sunday morning kind of community, like it's still community. Like that's still church. It's still people together. I'm more in that vein these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm with that. That's why I love small groups even right now. That's a big thing we're doing that I'm in. Just really focus on small groups. Maybe 6 to 10 people in a small group. They're going out, they're going to restaurants, going to hang, and they talk and live life. Still talk about principles that we believe or we teach from the church, but it's still just a time to just relax and chill. Get to know what we standing for. How can we build the community? Give us some of your suggestions. It ain't just got to come from the top. We need everybody in this thing because we all on the journey. You know what I mean? We all in the same thing. Play for the same team for all my sports people out there. And for people that Indiana gonna come back, it's all right. They're gonna win another game. But anyway, NBA finals. But I think that's important. I think in a church, I do like the community of a group of people. How are we going to impact this world together versus just looking at one man, one woman, one group of 4 or 5 people in a church? No. As a community, what are we going to do to affect change? So, what are we going to do to get our music even up? What are we going to do to even help out with the teaching? What are some things y'all want to hear about when it comes to teaching? What you want to learn about? So I think all of that can play a space, and I think it's important with churches now to really get hands-on with people. You know what I mean? And not so much just live the hands-off life. And when I mean get hands-on, meaning not trying to tell people what to do, but really trying to find a way to help them live on their faith journey, man, because we're all in it individually, but we need to be collective at times.
Yeah, no, that's real talk though. That's real stuff.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What did you say, Rich?
I said a lot, Eric. You got to go back.
I know. I was bothered.
Come back like, can you repeat the last 5 minutes of everything you said, please? I want to.
I heard what he
word
said.
for word.
He said all that stuff. I was going to
they summarize this. I'm like in the community. I'm just saying the community of people. We focus on small groups. And that way to help out with everybody's life journey together. That's the summary.
I like that though. Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's the. When you think about community, for me, when you think about it, you get a chance, and I'm gonna tie this into what the topic is. When they tried to tell me, the elders tried to tell us some stuff. They tried to tell us, what also people tried to tell us? The community been trying to tell us a lot of stuff, even in the church world. The community has tried to tell us a lot of stuff. They got a lot to say. When you sit back and listen to what folks are saying they looking for, it kind of changes your perspective around how to do ministry. It really does start to change your perspective because you see what a need is that somebody has, and you start to try to break down how to meet that need as best you can. Even if it comes to the point where it's like, all right, this is something that I'm not good at. This is something I don't know. But guess what? I know somebody who is. Like, I know an organization. I know another minister. I know a counselor. I know I don't know, another preacher. I know, even if it boils down to this, I know another church where they deal really strongly with this. I think you'd be a better fit over there. Not that I'm trying to kick you out. It's just that for what you need, I think you do, because we all in the same team anyways, right? But having that, the community will let you know what they're looking for. I think that's one of the things, though, that a lot of times we've not done so well in church world is listen to community. We've always, just I'm gonna just tell you what I'm hearing, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and then people will tell you, okay, that's cool and all. I mean, that's fine, but here go a list of things that's on my head. Like, you got anything for this? Well, no, I ain't got nothing for that. That's okay. Well, then shoot. I guess I need to. Yeah, and it's like, I guess I need to move my membership elsewhere. And then we wear that hard. Be like, well, people just leave when we be doing it after all I done for you. And that is like, and in their mind, it's like, you ain't did nothing for me because I was saying I needed XYZ and you gave me ABC, and now you butt hurt because I left to go find XYZ. You know, I think sometimes you just listen to community. That's why I love what you said. Y'all focusing on that because it will tell you. You know what I'm saying? People will tell you what they're looking for. You know. That's what I feel.
Hear what the trials that people are going through, and that can help you to even minister better, more effective, even with preparing for messages and even an approach of what to hit in the community. Because sometimes, you know, I can be honest, I'd be like, I don't know what we need to do in the community. I can think about it. I can just make suggestions. But even with listening, there comes a point where, and this is where the balance is, like you were saying, if you feel like you're called to do something specifically, but what if that's not what your community needs? Then what do you do? How do you balance that out? You know what I mean? And I think that's a line a lot of pastors and a lot of leaders and organizations, period, are walking right now and walking into. Do you change the community? Is it time to move? Do we move the church now? You know what I mean? Or do we change our audience? It's challenging.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. I think maybe it just boils down to, and you know, I ain't no pastor, so I can't speak to it, I guess, but I can give my unsolicited opinion.
I'm on my journey. That's why I ain't landed. I can have these conversations. Hallelujah.
My unsolicited opinion is basically though, like, you know, I feel like the word minister, right? Whether you're a pastor, we always, you know, we separate pastors and ministers, but the reality is a pastor is just a minister who's in charge. So a minister, you know, that word ministry comes from the same root where we get servant or server, and you don't know what to serve somebody unless they first tell you what they need. My mother used to say, it ain't help if it ain't asked for. It ain't help if I didn't need it. It's just you just in the way at this point. You saying you helping me. I didn't need that done. You coming in here mopping the floor. I didn't need the floor mopped. I just buffed it, and you just put this stuff on it and just undid all the wax that I just put on it. That wasn't help. You just made harder work for. So servers, you know, I liken it to this. Imagine going to a restaurant. You sit down, pull out a menu, and they bring you a hamburger, and you like, hold on, wait a minute, I didn't order this. Well, this is what we gonna serve you today, because this is what the special is today, and this is what we doing. We giving burgers. That's all we got for you, just burgers. And you be like, but your menu says you got me thinking I can order a salad. Maybe I wanted a bowl of grits. Maybe I just wanted some, you know, maybe I just wanted a dessert. But you brought me a burger.
Burger house. What if we a burger house? You know how some churches
you a burger house with a menu.
We a prayer house. Some churches are we are deliverance house. Some churches we are praise house. You know, you come here, you gonna shout all day. We gonna
fine. Go for
the praise house. So my expectation when I go there is praise. Now, if I go there and I get something that ain't that, I'm gonna be like, why am I here? Let me go to the house that I want. Now that's just one perspective as well. But I feel that you need to have a variety. It need to be a menu, and I should get to select.
I think some things don't have. I don't think some things may not have what you reminded me of somebody. I ain't gonna say her name, but Rich and Zeke, you both know it. We were on the road, and this just reminded me of a situation. We went to the Waffle House.
Okay.
And this individual said, "Oh, we're at the Waffle House. Great. So what kind of pancakes do you guys have?" And they looked at her for a long time. Said, "Ma'am, you're at the Waffle House." She said, "I know. What pancakes do you have here?"
Exactly.
You know, you're at the wrong place. I mean, this is not, you know, you are looking for one thing. So I think, like Rich said, some churches are known, like Pastor John Eckhart, they were known as deliverance ministry. You know, everybody knew if you got a demon, go to Pastor Eckhart's church. You know what I mean? You know, they knew you want to get a demon cast, I'll go to Eckhart's church. Or you go over here to, I can't think of the one, the other guy, Bynum's church. Pastor Bynum's church. His church is known as a prophetic church, you know, and I think like Rich, I think some churches do have a certain thing they're known for. It's a few churches that like we about to say Hannah's church or like Hudson's church. Certain churches are known for just everything, but you have some houses that are dedicated to a certain type of ministry, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go.
It is interesting. The reason I say it's interesting because then
his calling, this is what I'm gonna do, right? If I don't have
that's the area of expertise, should I say?
Here's my brother over here, Pastor so and so. Man, they got an amazing political team that helps church and Christianity and politics. You want to be a mayor? Go over there. Here, I ain't got to fight, right? So it's just like I think that's okay. I don't think there's nothing wrong in that space.
I don't know if there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know. That means you're gonna have just the same people in there, but when they get what they need, what's the point of staying at that point? You know what I mean?
They're your audience.
Like at a certain point,
that's what I'm called to. They're called to me in the same like-minded of what I'm doing.
I would say, let me correct that. Eckhart preached regular messages. His specialty was deliverance.
Right. That's his niche.
Right, yeah, I can get that.
Deliverance. And his church was packed every week, and people knew it was going to happen. It could be a thing in the whole world. He was buying pigs in the parlor books and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, I don't know. I think I would prefer, me personally, would prefer a ministry, and there's no knock to him, but that's encompasses everything.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like the majority of churches globally, it is an encompass everything situation. I think, you know, the American church is a little different in that sense, you know. That's the history. Huh?
That's why I live.
You said what?
That's where I live. I live in America, man. This is America, Jack.
I mean, I get it. I guess what I'm saying is, does it make it right? I guess. You know what I mean? Like, does it make it right? I don't know if it makes it right or wrong. I don't really sit on either side of it. It's just a thing I question. Because also in America, we also understand though that America is the place where we really figured out the cult of personality. So you ended up with a lot of personality driven churches. So if that pastor ain't there no more, that church don't stand, right? So like, you know, we can look at all these pastors who had these specialties, and then when they pass on or they retire or they whatever, where them churches at now? So, you know, were they building churches or were they just building followings? And that's a whole different, to me, that's a whole different ball game. Them two different ball games. So there's a lot of churches that's really just a personality with a following. And so this is where my following gathers. And, you know, it's about the personality as opposed to about the people. And at that point, I would say, you know, if a pastor is a shepherd, you shepherding all kinds of different people, and people come in with different stuff, and they come in with different needs. And so to me, a healthy church would stack up resources and stuff for all these different, you know, all the different needs that people need. Somebody has a need, you figure out how to meet it, you know.
I think it's still I think it's a biblical. I'm sorry, go ahead, Rich.
No, you got to eat.
I was just gonna say, I think it's still, even biblically though, I think certain things are areas like, you know, God gives some a gift of this, some a gift of this. Maybe that's a gift for that particular pastor. Not saying that he shouldn't work in other areas, but maybe that's his gifting area. And so I can address this person that said to me, I had a what do you call these people? Hebrew Israelite inbox me, and I'm gonna say this out in the open. Hebrew Israelite person, white men did not create the Bible. I said, the oldest Bible, sir.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he told me this. Hebrew Israelite inboxed me. I said, man, the Ethiopian Bible was 800 years older than the King James Version. The Ethiopians had the gospel before the white folk gave it to them. So it was already over there. So no, white men did not write the Bible, you idiot. I just want to address him publicly because he sent me a message. And I'll put your name up on my page later. But go ahead. As far as the pastors, though, I get what Zeke is saying. Or then, Rich, I get what you're saying, too, that so Zeke's thing is, okay, if you're a church that moves into prophetic only, once you've given that person a word, what's left for them now at this point?
To get another word.
There you go. That's your answer.
Everybody's going to use that to.
And Zeke, what's your rebuttal? Because I know you got one. So what's your rebuttal?
Wait, say the question one more time. My bad. I was typing in the chats. My bad.
I don't know. I said if there's a church that deals in the prophetic, I said after the pastor, like what you were saying, Zeke, if a person specializes in a certain area, after they get what they came for, what's next? So like if it's a prophetic church and they come to you, Zeke, I prophesy this in your life. I'm gonna speak this, boom, boom, boom. This is what's going on in your life. Zeke's question, I guess, for you, Zeke, was what's next? Rich said another word is next. Do you disagree?
At some point, at I mean, prophetic words is cool and all, but at some point, point me to Jesus and let the Lord give me a prophetic word. Like at some point, I thought the veil was torn. At some point, I went through no man gets to the Father but through Christ. Point me to the Lord. Point me to how do I talk to the Holy Ghost? How do I hear from God for myself? If you build me up to a point where I have to come to you to hear from the Lord, you did not build me as a saint in the church. You built me as a cult follower. You are a cult leader who built me as a cult follower, because I got to now filter through you to get to, as you say, Jesus, because you get a special word from God, and now but I don't have access to God like that. That ain't even biblical to me. That ain't even the whole point is that the Holy Spirit is the teacher of all things. So if you point me to the Holy Ghost, then at some point I ought to be able to come in here and say, this is what I hear the Lord saying to me. This is what I've been praying about. This situation, this is what I hear. And now prophecy becomes more of confirmation. Maybe sometimes speaking something into you, but if everything you do is because somebody had to speak it to you, I'm questioning now your relationship with him, and if you with the Father, and if you're in a place where you never get to like work that out, boy, you're gonna be stuck, because the unfortunate difference between man and God is that the Holy Spirit gonna stay alive as long as you're alive, but your prophetic pastor just might die. And if that's where you got to get your word from, then when he dies, what happens to you? And we've seen this happen a million times over. Or what happens when humanity shows.
Be clear. I agree with Zeke. Okay, this is not a disagreement. This is not where Zeke is saying something contrary to what I'm saying. This is not a disagreement. I agree wholeheartedly. Eric just likes to put people against each other, but that is not.
I was trying to get something going here.
I always encourage a person, a member, a believer in Christ, to have a relationship with Jesus themselves. Okay. All right.
My plan.
That is one thing about Rich Holmes. I do know that about Rich. Rich gonna always like, what'd you hear from God? Like, did you pray about that? Did you like, all right, bro, that's all I got for you. I mean, like, I can show you how to have this talk with, I think of it like this. What's the most intimate relationship that you have on earth? Like, for Rich, I would argue that his most intimate relationship is with Shate. At this point, my most intimate relationship is with Sticks. It will be a dog. Now, if we can liken the bride of Christ, or marriage, the bride of Christ, we the church, the bride of Christ, what kind, like if I'm a part of that, what kind of nonsense is it that I have to go through somebody else? If Rich is always coming to me talking about somewhere, look, man, I know your wife is saying da. First thing I'm gonna do is, I'm only saying this because it's Rich and it's my friend. I know this won't happen, so I'm using this example. But if there's anybody and they come to me telling me, well, your wife been telling me this, that, and the other, and I got a different relationship with her, and she's telling you, so I'm gonna punch that nigga in the face. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, they ain't gonna get punched in the face. What are you talking to my wife for about me? Now, I'm not saying that prophets and other stuff. I'm not saying, I don't want nobody to take it as Zeke saying that ain't a thing, or that, because I do believe in that. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm not talking about church order and pushing forward a church ministry. I ain't talking about nothing with that, because that's organizational stuff. And there is order. There is that. I'm talking about in your life, with the movement that God has for you, the things that you've been praying for, things you've been talking about, things you've been saying you want to do, things, and you feel like you always got to go run up to the altar to get a prophetic word. You feel like you got to go to every conference. You feel like you got every dog league. You got your ones that you listen to. I'm not saying don't listen. I'm not saying don't look for that. But I'm saying if you dependent on that, I'm arguing that you're not dependent on God. And so Jesus' words ring true. You give a man a fish, he'll eat for today. And so they're going to have to keep coming back to your table. But if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. So if I tell you all the time what the Lord is saying, but I never introduce you to the Lord, that means I'm holding something over your head. And at some point in time, that's going to expose itself. Because what happens when that person becomes human, and you find out how human they are, and they got that child that came out of wedlock, and now you was putting them on this pedestal. Now your whole faith is shaken. What happens when the financial situation happens at the church and they end up with now your whole faith is shaken? What happens when you find out that they was smoking more weed than you was smoking? Now your whole faith is shaken. What happens when they out there drunk? Like now all of a sudden your whole faith is shaken. Why? Because you didn't have faith in God. You had faith in a man of God. And that right there, to me, is taking God's glory. We talk about taking God's glory because I said thank you because you gave me a compliment. That ain't taking God's glory. The real fact of taking God's glory is when you make people feel like they got to come through you to get to God. The Bible is clear on this thing when it says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but through me. Now, if your pastor is running around here taking that's God's glory being stolen. And to that, and again, we talked about community. Communities have been saying this. If you listen to folks, they saying this. Well, I was in the church, but my pastor, I just felt like this just wasn't real because, if the pastor was going to do that and the pastor was going to. And then they spread that to other people. They start saying stuff like, no, I was at that church. And I remember when they did such and such, We were talking about one of the pastors. I ain't going to say which one. I'll just say it was the one we was talking about, deliverance. And I remember sitting at a cast party with somebody who was one of the right-hand people and said, yeah, I was there for 20-some years or something like that. She was at this point. Yeah. I don't want to tell her story. But she said, yeah, I was there with that church until one day I realized it was all some books. Forgive my language. Her word was, it was some bullshit. That was her word. And she said, like, I put all them years into it. Now, this person has nothing to do with the church. She was prophesying, doing all that stuff with them. But what was she doing? She was doing it through somebody as opposed to her own thing. Like, and that right there, now, if you get 20 years in with somebody and that's what they gave you, I'm questioning what they teaching at that point. I'm questioning what they teaching. And we done seen so many churches turn into cults in that way. And one of the things, and again, I'm not knocking nobody's thing. Do what you do. I'm just giving Zeke Live in the morning opinion. Like Zeke's opinion on Zeke Live.
I got a question on that.
If somebody, because when it comes to deliverance stuff, that's why I really start to get a little iffy with stuff. Because whom the Son sets free is free indeed. If you delivered me this week and I got to come to the altar next week to get delivered from the same thing, either your deliverance didn't work or I just joined a cult. And that's how, that's.
Or wait. But it could also be on the person too.
Oh, what?
It could be on the person as well, though. Like if you come to me and I'm known and not known for it, but say and going back, it was two things. All right, let's go back to the person. So I agree with that the person now is turned away. Now, my question for that person is, though, at the same time, you're an adult. When do you step away from what they're saying and get it for yourself? You're in the same church.
What I'm saying?
You run off?
She stepped away.
That's the point. What I mean is, let me say it. She said it's all BS. Then what was she doing individually for herself to learn or figure out what God is? Or did she only cling to the words of that pastor? You know what I mean?
Clinging to the words of that pastor. But this, my point is to that one, that was her and everybody else. They was clinging only to, because it's presented in a way. Pastor Bill Ellis always says, mind your presentation. If your presentation pulls off this thing where I've got to come to you, like, and this is why I say one of the places where I've seen it, and I'm sure y'all have seen the same thing, is in deliverance heavy churches, because it gets people feeling like I always got something so wrong with me, and the only way to get this taken off of me is if I come down to the altar and get delivered from it. And I'm not saying don't come to the altar and get prayer. I ain't saying none of that. I hope nobody's hearing that. So I want to make that very clear. But what I'm saying is, like, at some point, like, if it doesn't have any kind of follow up, I mean, if I got to come just on Sundays and Wednesdays to get a deliverance, but there's nothing there to actually do practical. If I want to get delivered from drugs, we're going to pray for it. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. But you might need a program as well. You might need to go to a rehab depending on how bad it is. You might need like there's other steps and things that can be taken. And this is what I'm saying, like having certain resources and things that's in your that's there for your congregants when you see what they need. And so for me, it's like I can tell the difference if somebody is just sucking you into their words to get something out of you, because they ain't got nothing else provided for you other than just go off what I say, just go off what like at a certain point that just becomes, I see what we're building here. We're building a cult, and that has impacted my family. So I'm talking from things that have impacted and almost tore my family apart. When I ain't gonna say who it was. I'm just gonna say one of my family members and them, they were in a cult, and I didn't understand it as much when I was younger, and I started getting older, and then I really understood what was wrong, why my grandparents were so upset. I really understood why my grandfather stepped up as man in the house and went to that other pastor and was like, my daughter's coming out of here. Like, I get it. I understand it. I get it now because because it starts to just veer, it starts to go down this dark path, man. Like you don't see it when you in it. You don't see it when you in it. That's the only thing.
Again, that's why I think it's important, even with tying up with any organization or anything you get involved with, churches, it's important to be led, man, by Holy Spirit. I really believe that are led by God to tell you where to be at and what you need to go, and not just making it on your own based on what you see surface based on the church. Like, I think because all of us know we can pull the veil behind any church and we're going to find some mess, right? Right. And I think any organization, oh my God, I just worked with this, I didn't even go there. And things you find out about people, and it's like, wow, this is a mess. That's why a lot of times I just like to sit in the front and just watch from the audience, the viewpoint. But now I'm learning, gonna be from behind, so I gotta see how that works too. Pause. But anyway, it's just like what's gonna be best to even move forward, bro. Like, it's tough out here.
Why are we so immature over here?
Y'all pray for me.
But you know what? I get what you're saying. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I think it all goes back to what the word says, though, at the same time, that you have to work out your own salvation. You have to go after God for yourself. If a person blocked you from God, I consider him demonic. I don't care if it's a pastor or not. Because I know a church right now that, I mean, some people are their pastors, how do I say that? He's too involved in their personal life and in their business. And like I know a church right now, like I said before, my mother's on here, she'll say, you can't get your hair cut without the pastor approving it.
What? See, okay, so.
And he tells you, wait, if it's a holy haircut, it has to be a holy haircut. You want to buy this, run it through him first. Why you moving to that house? I'll let you know what I think about it. All this kind of stuff. And it's like, he's too involved. It's one thing to include your pastor, your spiritual leader in a decision. Say, hey, pray for this, Pastor Rich. Pray for this, Pastor Ellis, this another. But Pastor Ellis, now, these the haircuts I'm looking at getting right here. Which one is a holy haircut? You want A or B? They got to do this. They have to give their pastor their pay stubs. You got to see what they making so you can know what their tithe money is.
See, once you get into that, once you start getting into them veins, you have joined a cult. Once you get into them veins, you, my friend, have joined a cult. And unfortunately, people don't realize that. But see, as people walk away from there and they start telling their story, people start seeing similarities between even their regular churches and some of that stuff. It starts creating an indictment against what we do, what we say, how we present, and people will tell you that. They'll tell you that. They trying to tell us, y'all. They're trying to tell us. And then we just say, well, that's just how we do stuff over here. But then something ends up happening and then everything falls apart. And
I like
that's the problem with it. Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
No, I was gonna say I like the part when because when people do come to our church and we have people that had issues like drug abuse, and they needed help. Of course, we prayed for them. We gave them material, spiritual, but we sent them to a rehabilitation lab. Like, we paid for it. We had them be done. You know what I mean? Wow. They didn't make it through, but we we're still praying for them. And I hope if you ever listen, but we try it because we do want to see change. We've actually flew people out to another place in Houston to get away from Chicago because they had an amazing drug program to help people. Now, they did pass and make it, so we praise God for that. So I'm saying that to say, even if you don't have it in your church, I love what Zeke's saying, partnering with other communities, partnering with other organizations. It's okay to partner with churches. You don't have to have a big head. Say, I'm the pastor, I'm the man, I need to do it. No, it's a community of people, community of churches, organizations that are here because we all play for the same team. Exactly. Hearts, right? You know what I mean? You got to get the souls together. And I want lives to be changed for real. Whether that comes through my words, it's all through God's words at the end of the day. So
and that's really to me, that's the big thing. That's why I say, like, the personality driven situations always fall apart. It's just no way around that. Personality driven situations fall because personalities fall. Like, people die. It's just,
would you say
what happens?
Our churches, most of our churches mirror the personality of the pastor. Would you say that?
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not knocking that. Don't get me wrong. That's practical, but I'm talking about something that's completely built on personality. Like, Everything ends, dies, breathes, lives, moves through the pastor. In him I live, move, and have my being, as opposed to it. So we got the pastor's church versus Jesus's church. It's the pastor's situation versus. So then when the pastor is no longer there, then the church got to fight for 3-4 years to just get somebody else in there who can live up to that standard of who that is. But it's very hard to do so when you built this on somebody else's person. It's hard to walk in somebody else's shoes, you know. But you know, and part of that falls into organizational structures. But some people's organizational structures are built on one person. It's all about one person. If there's one person, I'm not talking about final decision. That's common sense. You need that. You need that maybe with a board, depending on how your bylaws are set up. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in him, I live, move. Him, by him this time I mean pastor. In him or her, I live, move, and have my being. Like, and that's how you end up in these situations where, is this a holy haircut? Can I get this haircut? Should I do this? You know, obviously we come to our pastors because we praying about something. We might need some help talking this through, talking it out. Like, Lord, I've been praying about this. I've been, Pastor, what you think about it? And you able to have those moments, and that's healthy to me. That's good. You should do that. That's what your pastor is there for. Sometimes your pastor can see something in you and speak something into you that you may not have even saw in yourself. That's healthy. That's good. We should have that. That's what they're there for. But what we're not there for is, you know, me passing you my check stubs, asking who I should marry. Should I go to college? Should I get with this? At a certain point, you just like a fourth grader at that point. Like, you need permission. Like, and so, you know, we got these folks, and then what ends up happening is somebody comes along and teaches them about things like grace and the fact that the veil is torn and the veil is rent. You can go to Jesus for yourself. They start hearing that kind of stuff, and they don't quite understand it. So, you know, you end up with folks that's 60, 70 years old, and all they've ever been taught was just do what the pastor say. Just go to the pastor for everything. Well, you can't teach an old dog do tricks. So we got a lot of churches that just built like that, and then they fade off, and we can't understand why. They telling y'all why. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm suggesting. They telling y'all why.
My Lord.
That's my opinion on it, though. That's just I don't know much. I don't know anything. I'm not a pastor. I just got an unsolicited opinion. But, you know, but, you know, one of the benefits, and Eric, you probably sit in this vein as well, because with what we do, we spend a lot of time around a lot of different pastors, around a lot of different churches, like all over the country, all over the world. And we get a chance to see like all these different perspectives and have to like make decisions based on all these things we see. So I'm not just saying an opinion just because I think it should be this way. And I'm saying like, nah, I've seen it done this way. I've seen it done that way. I've seen it done over here. I saw where that worked. I saw where that failed. I saw where this, and it's just like, you know, you left to kind of try to sort through that. Yeah, you know.
It's a real thing, though, because there are people like that. And before, because I know somebody out there is thinking, and Zeke, it's funny you said it, because I was just sitting here thinking, I know somebody sitting back somewhere saying, y'all ain't no pastors outside of Rich. You don't know how it is. Right? You can't speak on it. You've never been a pastor. Okay. And you know what? I have never been a pastor. But I spent a lot of time around pastors and some of y'all favorite pastors. How about that? And see the things that you don't see. You see what you see on TV. Zeke know what I'm saying. We see the other stuff that you don't see. The conversation, this and this sitting on the desk and this in the cabinet, and who got this kind of pipe, who smoked this recreational, who drinking this when they. So, you know, it's not a thing of judgment because all have sinned, right? We all got wrong. But I think people sometimes you can put somebody on the pedestal so high now you're worshiping that person, and God is not sharing nothing. And that's why certain people, I'll be honest, certain people like Beyonce, I'll pray for her. Like, that's a serious concern, because now that you have churches that's dedicated to her and singing her music for the sermons, and they're preaching her songs as the sermon and all this kind of weird, and y'all push this woman into a place that you're endangering her life at this point, because God's like, why, who is she that you're gonna put her up as, you know? And I've seen people say it. People did it with Michael Jackson. If I take him in a room, my child will be healed just from being around him. It's like, no, there's one Savior. You can't put that on people.
I would say the only difference between those situations is that who the pastors I'm talking about are the ones who made people think that way.
Oh no.
People who are super fans of Beyonce, they just thought that for themselves. That Beyonce didn't go out there and be like, I need y'all to worship me. I need y'all to do whatever I say. She just put the music out there, did a good job. People just got into it and all that. Michael Jackson, Beyonce, but you can go down a list of Taylor Swift.
But she should say, "Hey, I'm not the pastor. I'm not God." On
Well,
Beyonce.
she never said it. Yeah, I don't think that's the thing she would ever address. She might know that's happening, but she probably ain't even paying attention to none of that.
May not
but for the pastors I'm talking about, they paying attention to that. They're developing it to be that way. They've developed their situations to be. You got to follow me. You got to, if you're going to get the word of the Lord, you got to come here. Like, if you're going to hear from God, you're going to come through me. That's a very different, dangerous territory. Yeah.
I'm just a person. If I knew somebody was doing something towards me, like, yo, that's not me. Hey, but you know what? You're right, though. But I'm getting back to how you have those pastors who, I was saying all that to say how people view people a certain way. And if some people knew some stuff about their favorite pastors that they watch every week, it'll show them pastors are no different than anybody else. They're regular men. They just have somebody that God looked at and said, I can use what's in him to get my message out. But we expect pastors to be perfect men, and they're not. That's not realistic. That's so unrealistic.
Yeah, and some just decided to submit to what they believe is the will of God for their life. And they just said,
and they're gonna have mistakes. You look at the disciples, like we everybody laugh at Peter all the time. Did y'all see the clip I sent you of that guy? They said what Peter said when they said, "Was you a Jesus?" Did you see it, Rich?
Yeah, I did see it.
I ain't see it yet. Not yet.
When we go off, I'm gonna show it. You will crack up. But the reaction was, Peter's like, this Peter said, "Oh, no, I wouldn't." No.
Yeah.
But did Jesus say, "On this rock, I'm building my church"? He looked at Peter as like, "You're gonna be somebody." Paul persecuted Christians. He hated church folks and end up being someone who his books take up the majority of the word. Like, God can use anybody. I just think we get caught up when we see God use somebody, and sometimes that person's use is genuine, but that pride gets in the way, and that self, gets, and now they're off. Like I often say, Pastor Brandon, which is a white pastor from back in the early 1900s, who was anointed, who would pray for the sick. This guy would go and lay hands on dead people. He couldn't go to the hospital and visit because him just going in there. President God was destroying him. People getting up in hospitals and then at the end of all, people start saying, "You're amazing. You're this. You're like Elijah. You're like this. It's not." And the devil creeped in, and this dude mentally broke and started telling people he's Elijah. I'm Elijah in the flesh. I'm the reincarnated version. Something that was pure and right can easily get diluted if you don't keep yourself under a certain type of. Oh man, it's 10:04. I just looked at the time. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, you was all right. I was listening. You was good, bro.
Eric was in there, right? Eric was preaching in there for me.
It's a passion moment for me here.
Eric was in there, but pause. I'm gonna just throw a couple of the comments up here real quick because a few of these were good. Rich, I think Marcus was talking about you when he said, "Yes, your advice to him all the time. Seek the Lord for yourself." I think that came across. Yeah, find them for yourself. There's one right there. Miss Ursula Ellis was talking about. She saw a shout out to her. She said she's seen it so many times. That came across when we were talking about churches that turned into cults. And then shout out to Melvin Sanders. What's up, good sir? Shout out to him. He said these preachers and pastors acting like they the only way, and there are so many of them that do it. I'm telling you, if you travel enough, I promise you, travel enough, and you'll see enough of these things that what I'm saying won't sound foreign. What I'm saying, and that's why Eric, I know Eric, no, I'm not lying. We done been to some places where like you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. But at the same token, because I want to show the good side of this, at the same token, we've also come across some great people, some great pastors. But it's them little spoiled ones that spoil the whole bunch and have people run away. Who?
Yeah, everybody's not trash. We're not saying that at all.
Yeah, everybody's not. In fact, I would argue that most pastors are good people. I would argue that the vast majority of pastors are in it for the right reasons, doing the right thing. That's the, that will be my argument. That's for another day, though.
Shoot.
There you go. Yeah, see. Yeah, you know, I would honestly make that argument. Most pastors in it for the right reason. They've made sacrifices that you know, if you want to hear my real argument, that's my actual argument, that most pastors are taking bigger hits than they should be taking. But to the ones who just get in here and make it look like all the pastors is doing amazing and they got all the money and all, there's just a few of them that's doing that, and they make everybody else look bad and have to deal with that. So that's crazy. Here's Broken Vessel Music, aka Murph Hammond. How do we see scripture? Sorry, I can now read. How do we see scripture? I can't read the words. How do we today, Junior? How do we see scripture affirming that a church being known primarily for a specific type of activity, especially when originally there weren't 50, 11? I had to see what that meant for me. I was like 50, right. 50 leaving, 50. Then I realized it was 50, 11. We're 50, 11 options for churches. Hope that makes sense. It does make sense. It does make sense. Yeah. Although I would say, to a certain extent, that might be a little bit of a misnomer. There were always 50, 11 options for churches. When we hear, like, for instance, the church at Corinth, it wasn't like it was just one church in the city of Corinth and everybody. It was like a lot of house churches. So there really were actually 50, 11 options. In fact, here's a little piece of history for you. Fun fact of history. The reason you have the Bible that you have is because there were 50, 11 options. They could not agree on what scriptures were scripture, what things should be considered in the book, That's how we ended up with the Nicene Council and all these other things like that. So they can come to some consensus on what should be in there. And it was really more so not about religious purposes, but about making sure that now that the Christianity was the official religion of the empire, that they will have some letter of standard. This is why the Eastern Orthodox Church, the Coptic Church, the Ethiopian Tueho Church, this is why all these different places have different Bibles than you use. Yeah, they're just canons. That's all they are. But the reason we have those canons is because, contrary to popular belief, the church ain't never been like one unified thing. That ain't never happened. That just ain't never happened. And I think it was intentional. I do think that was intentional. We're unified about one thing, that the Lord is risen. But Peter has a different perspective than Thomas, who has a different perspective than Matthew, who has a different perspective than Andrew, who has a different perspective than Philip. They're going to approach all these things in very different ways. And what you're going to get is a very divided church. And so we have to be able to agree on one thing. And that primary thing is that Jesus is Lord. And once we get there, then everything else is like, I don't care what you're saying at that point, right? Unless you get me into a cult. So Ursula Ellis, I run from cult-like churches, ministries, communities. They use control as driving force. And she said she's been in several of those. That was a typo she put when she said sever. She fixed her typo, but she said she's been in several of those. So there you have Pastor APC Morgan Park. I think that's Pastor Bill saying, watch your mouth. Let's see. Deliverance from Rondo on the Rocks is not often instantaneous. It's a journey and needs more than just laying of hands. Instant deliverance is called a miracle. That's just my opinion. Yeah. I go with you there. Amen. Shout out to Sister Brown. What's up? Hey. Yo. Amen. That's community involvement, delivering the whole person, the whole soul, mind, emotion, will, intellect, imagination. There go. Now, this funny right here. I want a cold.
I want a cold. Whoa.
Yikes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, your life gets easier when you got one. And then here was another comment from Sister Brown. She said that, you get that way. Now you're just looking for a sidekick. Like, yeah.
Brown and her husband, Deacon Brown, Team Brown, they got a new show coming out called Covenant Conversations. That's hitting up, I think it's the June 18th. It'll be good about marriage, and how to make marriage good. So it's going to be dope. So be looking out for that.
Nice. Was that next week?
Yeah, the next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I think it is. Yeah.
Bad. Shout out. Come on, we got stars on here.
Yeah.
We had to have them on here to talk about it one day, to talk about the show and what they'll be talking about and stuff like that. We had to have them on Zeke Live in the morning. If y'all down for it, Sister Brown. If the Browns is down, look at that rhyme. If the Browns is down, y'all can come on here and talk about your show. We show love over here. And then I'll put this last one up here, and then we got to go because I got to go and I got to go. I got to go 2 different ways. So we got to been drinking that coffee, Doc. And I got somewhere to be in a minute. Pastors Lead, volunteer organizations funded by donations, and people complain about the money. Yeah, there's a whole conversation that could be had there. Absolutely. Yeah. So there y'all have it. At the end of the day, people be trying to tell us stuff. They be trying to tell us, and the question is, are we gonna listen? You know, we're gonna listen to our elders when they tried to tell us stuff, and
Probably
now we
not.
grew up. Are we gonna listen to our communities when they trying to tell us what they looking for, and are we gonna listen to our wives when they tell us to go downstairs and finish building that couch, or to not go outside when you sick, to stay home? Like, cause I'm telling y'all that's my lesson for today. I did not listen to my wife. She told me last week, you don't need to leave the house. You need to stay home. You need to heal. You need to get better. I got stuff to do. Yeah, and then I'm still fighting over this cough. So are we gonna listen? That's a comment for another day. That's a question for another time. But yeah, great convo, y'all. Great day. Cool. Let's do this. Let's do our round table. I feel like we need a dope track for the round table. Here's the other side, y'all. Don't hire Spider-Man for any of your events. If you learned anything from today, if there's anything you learned today, Spider-Man is not a good hire. Like,
that Spider-Man is trash.
Spider-Man is trash when it comes to hiring him. Stick to saving crime, Spider-Man. Let's do our round table. Of course, Eric Rideout always starts off the round table. Let's get him in there real quick.
Let's make it quick. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining. Hey, follow us on social media as individuals and follow us as a unit, on YouTube. Also, if you're in the Chicagoland area and you are a pastor, or anybody here knows a young person that can sing, we're going to have a flyer put up. We're doing a choir for Fred Hammond's Legends Tour that's coming to Chicago, and he's looking for a group of young people to come up on the stage and share, ages 17 to 24. That'll be up. Other than that, man, look, enjoy your day. I won't be here tomorrow. I got a special appointment in the morning, so keep me in your prayers that everything come back negative in the morning. And thank y'all for joining us. God gave all. Oh, God, I said that wrong. God loves you. Jesus gave all for you. Give all for him. And I'm going to hand it over to the Apostle Rich Holmes.
He said the Apostle.
Man, we're going to make this quick because Zeke got to go. Heavenly Father, as we begin this speak, we thank you for new mercies and purpose. Surround us with your protection. Shield us in our minds, our bodies, and steps from harm. Heal the wounds of our past trials. Break every chain of stagnation with your renewing power, God. Stir courage in our hearts so that we can move forward, trusting you and trusting your plan. Even in uncertainty, remind us we're never alone. Your love guides us. Deepen our relationship with you daily. Renew our strength. Renew our mind. Ignite our faith and help us walk boldly in the purpose that you've set before us. May this week bring you growth and grace until we meet again. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm AP Rich. Like I always say, life is choice driven. You will live and die by the choices you choose to make. I got a hint for you. Choose life.
I was sure for to say, like, you ain't gonna say your tagline? You just like, no tagline? I was gonna jump in and steal it. I was gonna steal your line today. I was like, he ain't gonna say his tagline? What?
Yeah, my prayer person in the tagline. I'm figuring out.
I feel it. It's like, as long as you say the tagline, we good. As long as you say the Hey, y'all, thank y'all so much for locking in with us today. We appreciate each one of y'all. Let me just throw this on the screen just one more time before we get up out of here. Why does the wrong thing always... All right, let's try this again. There it is, right there. This Saturday. This is not the right flyer because that's not what it's called. It's called Table Talk. Men's Brunch and Table Talk is actually what it's called. So this is the old flyer and deleted the wrong one. But but the information is still the same. The information is still the exact same. It's this Saturday, APC Morgan Park. We was just talking about this. We can preach stuff, but we can also offer some resources. That's what this is. This is me putting my money where my mouth is. I ain't just talking it because I got an opinion. So whoever got an opinion that says, nah, I'm showing you stuff. We got people in our community who need records expunged and they need records sealed. Guess what? We're talking about how to do that at the brunch. We got people in our community who are trying to figure out how they can get involved in the community. Guess what? We got folks talking about that at that brunch. And this is for men. This right here is specifically for men. There's a limited number. We got a cap on how many people can come. So please, please, please go ahead and scan that QR code. I've got it posted so you can scan that and find that. You can come on out. We got chicken and waffles.
How much does it cost?
How much it costs?
Yeah.
This costs freedom. That's what this costs. This is free. This is free to you. Now, it ain't free. It's free to you. Like, we paid a pretty penny for this. Like, y'all, but y'all ain't got to pay nothing for it. We've covered all the expenses on it. All you got to do is come out, bring, and again, it's for men. It's for men. So this is the time when men can just fellowship, talk, and do that. This is sponsored through our Community Healing Resource Center. It's going to be a great event. We got good breakfast. We got good presentations and some stuff you can take with you. So you definitely want to chime in with that. You want to lock in with that. Be my special guest. Be my special guest, but register, because I would hate for you to show up and all the seats are full and you show up thinking you're going to be able to get in. We like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't. They just can't. So there you have it right there, y'all. Come on out this Saturday. And that's that. That's that. So thank y'all so much to everybody who locked in. This is the comment we always be looking for right there. Two of the mamas said great podcast. She said good conversation, great show. And Rhonda's mama says great podcast. And Rich, your prayer hit heaven. There you go. Miss Ursula Ellis said amen. So your prayer must have hit heaven. There you go. And we'll take this benediction from Sister Brown, who says, bless all of you. Yes, I take that.
Bless you too.
I feel it. Hey, all right, y'all. I love y'all. We'll see y'all on mañana. We appreciate y'all locking in. Lock in again tomorrow. We got another great one, a great week of Zeke Live in the morning. Peace.